WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Got the number one pick in the NHL draft, but the men they can't seem to stump. Do something dumb, that's an observation. CLT make them need to run.
That's Lawrence Taylor!
Cut them every trash, CMT for short. Wonder if we best once you peep the score. Up at the crack of dawn, top stories of the morning. While you're yawning, grab your coffee, rise and shine with 8:80 a.m. This is Drop Time. We provide highlights from your favorite teams. Got Dave and Rick making plenty of picks. It's Rule 76.
Well, that happened. That was a thing.
Did it not go well?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we're not talking about the same thing. Maybe we are. I guess we'll find out. Yeah. You talk about a buzzkill. I mean, I don't know what to say at this point. I really don't. And how many hours after that game ended last night? And by the way, this is DNR on this Tuesday, the 7th day of July. But it is GNR once again. Grasa and Renan for the next 4 hours at 800-919-3776. I see Ray Santiago. I see RJ Santillo. They love soccer. They follow soccer. Hell, those guys did soccer watch parties over the last few weeks for this radio station, supporting the World Cup, helping grow the game of soccer. We watch the games. We love soccer. You and I spent time, the majority of the time, on this program yesterday, getting geeked up over that game last night and how it was a great opportunity for this national team to take that next step on our home soil. We had calls yesterday from listeners on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, for crying out loud, getting in on the act.
What did Lee tell us, though?
Lee told us that based upon what was happening off the field on Sunday, that we kind of were not being presented in the most favorable light.
Taken out. You're being laughed at.
Being
the
laughed
Mick.
at.
Right now.
Yep.
The Mick.
It was the Mick.
Well, you know what today
laughed
is?
At.
You know what the rest of the world is? We're the Mick right now again.
I don't even know if you say Mick. I think there might be a stronger word you could use.
And really, if you want to, boil it down to one play that kind of exemplifies what happened yesterday, that Matt Freese.
Yeah, he froze.
Goalie era.
Froze.
Young Way Freeze, as the internet is calling him these days, with the sort of miss kick, goalie, turnover, these are the things that are rec league soccer, that I've seen with my daughter's team. And you're sitting there on the sideline of middle school game, I can't believe the goalie just did that. That happened to the United States in a World Cup game at home. And by the way, guess what? That was kind of typical of what happened throughout the evening for the United States.
That put a bow on it all, right? That was, if there was one play, one sequence that summarized the entire game perfectly, it was that episode there by Matt Freese, which was just, you can't make it up. I said to RJ, and I was thinking about this driving in this morning, and when I got in and I said to RJ, you know what that whole experience was like last night? It was like you and I were doing the show yesterday, so before the game, and I said to you, oh my gosh, I had this nightmare that not only did we play the game, we got outclassed. We got out embarrassed. Not only did we lose, they're laughing at us around the world. I had this dream, and it was awful.
Couldn't complete passes.
Couldn't keep possession. It looked like they didn't even want to have the ball. It looked like, I hate to say this, they almost looked like at times they were intimidated out there. It was a little men against boys-ish.
First goal, Serginho Dest and Weston McKennie looked at each other and didn't go after the ball.
Three guys looking
after the ball.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Dude, it's the World Cup. You're playing for your supper. Go get the damn ball. Even if two of you are there, great. You know what? Get it the hell out of there. It's in your box. It's just almost like they were in awe of the moment. And then before they realized what the hell happened, just like that, it was over. It was over. And we even said, the fact that they were down 2-1 at halftime, you felt like that was a win.
Yeah, that was actually, they were lucky to only be down 2-1.
Lucky.
But here's what it means in the greater scheme. We're sitting here, we're hosting this event. It's an opportunity at home to bring people in that usually don't get into soccer and usually aren't into the sport, specifically kids, right? You're trying to create the next generation. The idea here was to potentially make it further, to show that we've closed the gap, right? That's what we were excited for. People were actually saying, I think the U.S. can win it all. In retrospect, how stupid did that sound?
Exactly. I mean,
right? It was stupid anyway. I mean, you need basically 4 miracle games in a row, which wasn't going to happen. But the idea that, and honestly, this wasn't even in my mind. I don't think you were either. We were like, oh, the tournament basically can't be a failure, right? And then like if they lose, it would be disappointing.
Right.
Well, it was more than disappointing because our brains didn't even register the idea that they were going to get blown off the field and look like they can't compete. And now the reality is that we sit here and we're like, well, how big is that gap between the top teams and the United States? Forget the top teams. We proved that we can't even compete at this level with the secondary teams. Secondary teams. So how far are we from really being able to compete in this sport at the highest level?
Look, we all have egg on our face, right? We all do. Because we sat here yesterday and talked about a Belgium team that wasn't even like a top. This Belgium team wasn't as good as the one in 2014 that beat us. It wasn't. This Belgium team is if you just want to even go by European soccer, and I know that we don't have a lot of success at all against European clubs, this was a fringe top 5 European team, which is not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's still not even at the level that we've seen of the Red Devils in the last decade, okay? This was an opportunity to have a signature win, like you said, home soil in a stadium that was going to be absolutely buzzing. And you know what? In a weird way, the start that they got off to last night, don't you think it almost took the crowd out of it too? Like they were almost in disbelief? That place wasn't. You didn't hear the 12s last night.
They gave up a goal within 10 minutes.
I mean, it was what?
And then you could see it. You could see that the United States wasn't up for the challenge, that they were tight, that they looked nervous. Christian Pulisic just had a nightmare game. He's supposed to be our best player. I mean, it's disappointing. So, and that's the thing to me.
Christian Pulisic didn't have a great tournament. Let's tell it like it is.
Well, he had a great half in the first game, and then it went downhill after that.
Great. Best ability is availability, too, my friend.
That's the thing. This is why I think it's a missed opportunity. So, like the young kids right now that were watching this tournament, are they sitting there saying, you know what? I could do this. We can go. We can compete with the top teams. I want to be Christian Pulisic. Like, he didn't put anything on the field aside from that first half where kids are like, and that's the disappointing part because he's our most successful player. He literally has had more success in Europe, which is the highest level of this sport of any player in history, right? And you want to see it translate to this at home, the biggest stage, all our kids, this whole country is watching, and you want them to see, I want to do what Christian Pulisic did. But there's nothing that he put on the field that is going to inspire the kid. At least I'm talking about this tournament.
Right.
I mean, he's played in a Champions League final. He played at Chelsea. He started at Chelsea. He's become a top player in Italy, maybe the best player on AC Milan at times during his time there. Like, where kids could be like, yeah, I want to do what Christian Pulisic did. Well, this was the chance to do it on the even bigger stage in front of your home audience. And they wasted it.
Done.
Because it was a dud beyond duds. And guess what, Dan? These opportunities don't come around. And that's why I was rewatching some of the game this morning. You hear the answer. This is the biggest game of all these players' professional lives. Because it's an opportunity to grow the game in this country to a degree that maybe we haven't gotten to. And it was wasted. And now it's not like it's going to come around. Well, we have another 4 years to do it. No. It doesn't come back to the United States. It took 36 years.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
It was 32 years.
32 years.
So we'll be over it. I'll be in my 80s if they come back here at the same pace. I think it'll be my grandkids' kids maybe.
And if you want to go to a game, you get a good parking space. If you're going to be in your 80s, you get the handicap tag and everything.
We're gonna have flying cars. It'll be like the Jets.
It'll be nice and easy.
Yeah.
But
it'll be like the Jets.
You still won't be able to take a flying car though if the games are at MetLife Stadium though. They're not going to allow you to even take the flying car.
There's no airspace?
No, nothing. Nope.
You can't rent airspace?
FIFA controls the airspace.
$6 million for airspace?
Can't do it. Cannot do it. But look, there's several things. We want to hear from you, and we'll talk plenty about this all morning at 800-919-3776. The other thing that bothers me, as somebody who grew up playing and has obviously followed this team and this program for decades, right? And the rousing success the 94 tournament was when it was here. Not just for what the team did in 94. And again, it was the same thing, round of 16, right? But how it helped grow the game. And you thought at the time it was opening a lot of new eyes to soccer and kids and this and that. The problem is, and we were talking about this before the show, is that all the things that you heard after that game last night from all the talking heads on television, whatever it is, and a lot of them are Americans, of course, rightfully so, and a lot of them are former players on the national team and have had moments of success in their careers. But the same thing they said then, it's the same thing we've been hearing at the end of these World Cups for the last 32 years, whenever the U.S. gets eliminated, about how this is another step and, there were more positives than negatives and blah, 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 and they're helping grow the game. And this is like, at a point you're tired of hearing that. You really and truly are. It's like a broken record. It's like, okay, World Cup. Everybody gets behind the USA. They win a game or two. They make it to the knockout round. Then they get outclassed by a superior squad. And then cue the music, everybody. Well, woe is me. They were just better, but we're taking baby steps. When do the baby steps end?
Did they? I mean, what's the baby steps here, though?
But that's what I'm saying.
They played better in the group stage?
Because they beat Paraguay 4-1? Like I said,
it's hard to sell that this time.
But that's, I think, what you sell, right? I mean, and I'm not advocating it, don't get me wrong, but you think of the positives. Aside from the fact that, okay, there was a lot of commercial success and the economy for everything here. Forget about that, though. But in U.S. Soccer headquarters, if they hold a banner, or raise a banner for the 2026 World Cup, what are they going to say? They won the group, whatever group letter we were, champions? Okay, great. You won a group. What did that get you?
Here's the disappointing part is I think, and my eyes told me, and I think most people
we were supposed to win the group, by the way.
That we were better, that we're a better team, that we're more skilled and we're more talented. But in this game, I think we just choked and came up small.
But if we play that, let me ask you a question. If we played that game 10 times, how many of them do we win?
But
maybe we don't lose that bad.
What did the U.S. play? Their D- game?
I don't even know if you want to even give them the D.
Am I even like I'm saying? So if the U.S. played their B game and they lost like Mexico, right? Mexico lost to England, but they played a good game. They lost 3-2, right? At home, very entertaining, very competitive game. If the U.S. loses 3-2, I think we could still feel good about the direction of the program. But the fact that they came up so small,
they didn't show up
in the biggest spot.
And then
look, is what really bothers you about that.
Monday morning quarterback, Tuesday morning now, right? We're going to sit there and try to get into the psychology of what led up the previous 24 hours to that game and how much did the decision to allow Balogun to play and all the controversy that ensued from everybody in the soccer world, mostly outside of the United States. But even we said yesterday, it's kind of a no-win situation. And isn't it funny, 24 hours ago, we were actually sitting here and the words like we may win the game coming out of our mouth and then what ended up being the product and the result. But it was a no-win situation. The rest of the world was against us. The Belgian Soccer Federation could not wait for that game to go final last night.
What did
because
they tweet?
Their social media team basically couldn't, overturn that. Overturn this. And then there was another one, too, like we call it, and instead of soccer, they crossed out soccer and said football. You know what I mean? It's just.
They were doing Balogun's celebration dance. And you know what?
And they have every right to do it. Every right.
100%. Rub it in our face. Go ahead.
They won a true road game, right? They won a true road game when it felt like everybody was out to get them and all the advantages were being thrown the U.S.'s direction. Our best player, they allow him to play in the game where, by the letter of the law, he shouldn't have played. There's no other way to put it. What happened last night in Seattle was a disaster. It was a disaster for U.S. soccer.
So is the whole tournament now a failure?
It's a good question because we debated that yesterday. Is it what's the difference between this tournament being a failure versus a disappointment? All right, we still did not get past the round of 16. And let's point it out again for those that are still just new to this whole World Cup thing and they got into the soccer. Remember, they expanded the World Cup to 48 teams this time around. In previous iterations, when it was only 32, if you made it to the knockout round out of your group, you were already in the round of 16. Right? So all we ended up at was where we would have been in previous World Cups.
Yeah. Plus, we have the huge advantage of being at home. That's a huge advantage.
And we have the huge advantage of being at home. So, okay, the Bosnia game was exciting. Take me home, country road. The Malik Tillman kick, great. But that was a round of 32 game. And I said it to you yesterday. With this new expanded World Cup, if you win a game in the round of 32, To me, all you did was, if you want to equate it to the NCAA tournament, you won like the play-in game in Dayton, Ohio, to get into the field of 64 then. That's all you did. That's all we did. So is this progress? Like when we lost, I said to RJ before the show, like when we lost to Belgium 2-1 in 2014 and got eliminated against a real good Belgium side when Tim Howard had to like stand on his head that day, right? Even though the score was only a goal,
Howard, by the way.
well, we could have used that. We could have used a statue. I think it would have been better. A cardboard cutout. Remember those guys? But even that game in 2014.
OG, you available?
Yeah. OG would have done better. He would have got the tip in. He would have tipped it up and over.
We got the OG Anunoby cardboard cutout in the corner here.
But that game in 2014, even though it was only one goal that separated us on the scoreboard, that still felt more lopsided, despite the fact it was only a goal. That game was more competitive by leaps and bounds than what we saw last night. Not even close. The game 4 years ago, where we got eliminated against a superior Dutch side in the 2022 World Cup. I think that was a 1-0 game, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Still, it felt like we were just hanging on in that one. Like we didn't really have it. We were trying to keep it as close as possible. That was more competitive than what we had last night.
And while I'm not going to say that makes this entire tournament a failure, because I think getting out of the group stage, winning a knockout game is still something, right? It's not that easy to do at this level. Well, I'm not going to say it was a failure. It is super disappointing and a missed opportunity for the United States here. And what it did show is how far the gap is between us and the top teams. And forget Belgium for a second, because they're the second-tier team. How far, like the United States, if they had won, would have played Spain? We don't belong on the same field as Spain, as Argentina,
do you know
as France.
Can I be honest with you?
Not even in the same stratosphere.
You want me to tell you where my headspace was? Because remember, going in, like, whenever this World Cup, we've talked about it, I have like two teams to root for. Obviously, I'm rooting for us first, but then if we're not in it, you root for Portugal, like the Heritage or whatever. They both played yesterday. And, of course, as my luck has it as a fan, of course they would both
Good day for
lose.
you, Dan.
Awful.
You had a good day, huh?
I actually allowed my headspace for about a 4-hour window. You believe this, Ray? A 4-hour window yesterday. After the Portugal-Spain game went final, I allowed this brain of mine to entertain the thought of, you know what? Looks like the U.S. got to take care of business against Spain coming up on Friday.
Well, that they did. They took care of business, all right.
You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of Rocky IV. And Apollo was Portugal, lying in the ring dead.
Portugal was twitching.
And the United States was Rocky, holding him. And Ivan Drago was Spain. That's what I was playing in my head. I said, you know what? We'll see on Friday. Boy, was I crazy.
Yeah.
But that's what sports does to you. It allows you to think stupid. It allows you to think silly. It allows you to think crazy thoughts.
Instead of training to fight Ivan Drago, Rocky went out and just got destroyed again by Clubber Lang instead.
No, he didn't even make it through training.
Well,
when he climbed the mountain,
I was going to say Spider Rico got him.
He fell off the mountain. He fell right off the mountain.
It's better than the comp I had. The comp I had was like, that's one of the most embarrassing things I've seen.
Oh, my gosh. I mean.
It's Tuesday and we're off the rails.
We are off the rails.
It's Tuesday and we're off the
See
rails
what this
already.
team did to us?
You're really going to have to put me on your shoulders by the end of this week.
It's unbelievable. All right, 800-919-3776. You know, there's a lot to talk about with this one throughout the course of the morning. It is a Tuesday, so we play CMT coming up at 7:45. We got the stuff you missed. We got the 3 stars. And, oh, by the way, hey, now that the soccer portion of the tournament is over for the United States, it's back to baseball. And wouldn't you know, both baseball teams win last night.
Yankees are back.
All is right with the world when it comes to baseball. Oh, my goodness. It is GNR. It is Grassa and Renan in for DNR here on ESPN New York.
D'Agostino, Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. Did you know Social Security takes money out of every paycheck you earn, paycheck after paycheck, and you're not supposed to touch that money until you're 67? What if you can't work? What if you need that money now? The system is challenging and most people get denied. That's a fact. D'Agostino & Associates has the experience to win, and we win a lot. If you filed for Social Security disability benefits and were denied, let us appeal. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. Bite Back means fight back. 1-800-248-3222. We'll fight to get you paid. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and handles Social Security disability claims and appeals. Remember, if you've been denied, call us first. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates. We win. A lot.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off and to wear a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Refresh your yard this summer with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. Choose your power starting at $99 with tools from trusted names like Ryobi and Milwaukee. From backyard get-togethers to end-of-summer upgrades, 4th of July savings on cordless tools deliver the power and mobility to keep up with every job without slowing you down. Power on the go is here, and summer projects are easier than ever with the Home Depot. While supplies last, see store or online for details.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
It's time to start calling guys out. There's been a lack of accountability with the Yankees forever, where you've got a manager that defends. The players are way too comfortable. Everybody gets apologies for how they play. Maybe it's not a lack of focus. Maybe it's just a lack of accountability that they know at the end of the day, I'm still going to be in the lineup. I'm still going to get defended by the organization.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Weekdays at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Not a lot of fun last night if you're a U.S. soccer fan, that's for sure. GNR in for DNR here on ESPN New York at 800-919-3776, the telephone number. So we were talking about it during the break again before we get to the phone calls. Like, you know, if you're trying to measure yourself on that next level, right, of like where this program is, if you want to like equate it to another sport and use that analogy, right? Like, what did you say, like in terms of football? Like if U.S. soccer was a football team, it would be...
Yeah, that was like a 10-7, 11-6 team in the regular season. You played a fairly easy schedule. No one's a real believer, really. And, like, you know, okay, they're good. They're having a great season, but they kind of, you know, got an easy schedule.
So we're basically like the NFC South champion.
Yeah, then you get to the playoffs. You play a real team.
Yeah.
Like a much harder team and better competition. You lay an egg and lose 35-0. That's kind of what yesterday felt for the U.S. soccer team.
Absolutely. And see,
mediocre teams step up in competition, can't handle.
You know,
wilt.
NBA playoff like equation. I think you're like a 6 seed, like what a 6 seed would be in a conference. Like you're right above the play-in tournament, and you may, you know, be able to put a scare into one of the big dogs like on occasion, but you're really not a threat to like win the whole thing. That's what we are.
And that's the thing is, I don't think the U.S. is a bad team. By the way, I'm watching, so the YouTube is on like a little delay.
Yeah, a little bit.
Can your head grow in like the span of a day?
Why?
Like, these headphones just don't fit me. Like they did yesterday.
They're the same ones you used yesterday?
Yeah,
they're not yours. They're the ones you don't have your own. Like that's what they gave you.
Yeah.
Really? And they don't fit?
I just feel like
we got a hat on yesterday.
Can your head grow?
I mean, if it grows from one day to the next, I think you have to consult your local practitioner probably. Like there might be something wrong.
Yeah.
I think.
Mutation?
Maybe.
Something like that?
Yeah. Like some radioactive stuff going on there, which probably isn't good. I think.
Yeah, not good.
Never really happened to me, but I
might
can't
have to go get checked.
So, like
But
you think about these other teams that are like
serious. Like, we're still a good team though. Like I do believe that we're a good team that just played an awful game.
Well, and you know what?
Not a team that's close to the top European teams.
No, not even close.
But a good team.
But here's the problem.
Pretty
though.
good team.
You play a bad game, you're going home. Like in this tournament, you only get one shot every 4 years. If you save your worst game for like that stage every 4 years, you're going home and you got nothing to show for it. Like you think about the teams that are still playing right now, right? That are like world-class soccer countries. Think about the ones that are out of this tournament that we're still not at that level. Like
Germany,
the Dutch. You know
Italy
what I mean?
didn't make it.
Italy. We're not in. I don't care that they didn't make the World Cup. We didn't make the World Cup in 2018. You know what I mean? Like, Uruguay's better than us, 100%. I mean, I could sit here and go on and on and on and on and on. You know, Croatia, for crying out loud, was in a freaking final once upon a time of a World Cup not that long ago. You know what I mean? Like teams like that. So we are, look, we're in the round of 16. I think we're like a fringe top 15, top 16 team in the country. But is that the goal? Is that where we like aspire to be? Of course not. How do you get higher? That's what we haven't been able to figure out in over 3 decades to break through to that next level.
The reality is they didn't even match what they did in 2002.
No.
Right? And they made the quarterfinals.
That was the best win. Beating Mexico in the round of 16 in the middle of the night in South Korea and then playing a real good German team to a 1-0 game in the quarterfinals. That's our benchmark. And that's 24 years ago. And last night, like you said, with everything in our favor, everything basically handed to us on a silver platter, even the sport's governing body intervening with the help from the government to try to allow one of our players to be able to play in that game last night.
Which makes it even more embarrassing, the whole thing.
We took a giant you-know-what on that field.
Yeah, which makes it even more. But you know what this also reiterates to me? And you know how a lot of people always say, you lose a heartbreaker.
Right.
Right? You lose that super tough game. It's heartbreaking, and you can't believe it just happened. You lost in some ridiculous fashion, and you go, I'd rather have got blown out than lost that way. This was a reminder, no. I'd rather lose in a heartbreaking fashion and at least show that I belong than get blown out and look like I don't even belong to the dance. Look like you belong in the kiddie game over there. Like, this is our game. You know, Europe is like, what did they say? Past the Mick?
Yeah.
Or we're the Mick?
We're the Mick.
We're the Mick.
We're the Mick. How do you like that?
It doesn't feel good.
Happy 4th of July. Happy Mick.
Doesn't feel good.
Ray, question.
Yeah.
Is this World Cup a failure? Or is it a disappointment?
Now, you asked me that question 24 hours ago. I said if they lose. And I said, no, you know, it's good. They showed growth. You're happy with what you've seen on now? Abject failure, humiliation, embarrassment, any words you could think of. You know, that's not a violation of FCC rules around here. But, like, just that, you know what I was going to say that reminded me of? That reminded me, that was one of the most embarrassing losses, again, I've ever seen. And I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, that's true.
I've seen terrible playoff losses in my time. It reminded me of Cowboys-Packers a couple of years ago where they just got blown out, their doors blown off right from the beginning, and they never recovered. That's what that felt like.
Hard to sell the growth after watching it.
How could you sell anything after watching that? I'm watching the goalie make plays that they probably make at the youth level.
Well, because you want to say, okay, they just had a horrible day, and look at the totality of it, the quality of play. And I do think it is better in general. It just wasn't yesterday. And everybody played terrible. Like, I mean, you just go down the line. I mean, who played? Maybe like Malik Tillman played pretty well.
But Malik Tillman was not having a good game prior to that kick. That's the odd thing. Like, streets were saying basically that this guy needed to be put on the bench at halftime. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. Like, he was as guilty as all these other guys were.
He wasn't even in the top 8 of mine of guys who were playing
But it just goes to show you, like, you almost get, like, dragged down with everybody else. You know what I mean? It was just, I couldn't have seen that coming in a million years. I'm reading.
But so our top, I think we found out, like, what our optimal top play can be. Like, in the I know it's Paraguay, but we did play great at that game.
Right. It was also the first game of the World Cup.
And then this is, okay, what we're still capable of putting on the field when we're going up against the top competition. So it's like two ends of the spectrum.
Well, the funny thing about it, too, is it's like, okay, look at the Belgium side. Last game they played in the round of 32, they were dead to rights.
They didn't even, yeah.
And
they actually got very lucky to advance.
Think about it. You're down 2-0 in the 80th minute. Like, you literally have
Senegal?
one against Senegal. You got 1 foot on out the door. You're already like they're warming up the plane for them to go back to Belgium. Like, they're out. They're done. And not only do they come back and win the game, then they come back in the next round against us and embarrass us. So, yeah, to Ray's point, failure, I think the embarrassing term needs to be thrown out there based on that. The performance as a whole for the tournament was not embarrassing. The game last night was embarrassing.
The game last night embarrassing. That's like not that's not
non-negotiable.
That's inarguable.
That's non-negogiable because,
but
like you said, some of these
I still
plays,
don't view the whole thing as a failure. It was. We didn't show the growth that we wanted, but it wasn't a total failure.
All right, let me.
They didn't make the World Cup a couple of years, 2 cycles ago.
2 cycles ago. But let me ask you this question: if it wasn't if you don't consider the whole thing a failure, when are you ever going to have a scenario mapped out as tailor-made for this team to have success and get to that next level than what we had here in this World Cup?
You're not in our lifetime.
There you go.
Not in our lifetime.
That's why I think if you want to give more credence to the fact that it was a failure, I think you'd be well within your rights. As disappointing and as much as it stinks.
I don't have a rebuttal for that.
No, but I mean, like,
I don't even have anything.
You know how much it stings?
I got nothing for you.
You know how much it stings? Like, really and truly. Like, I was mapping out in my brain. I said, you know what? We're going to go out there. We're going to have as good a soccer win as we've had in our lifetimes with this country. I was thinking about which one of my cool jerseys was I going to wear into work today to do the show, to celebrate our team and our country and the national pride and all that stuff. And I got nothing. And instead, we're wearing black because we're in mourning. Because it's a funeral. That's what it is. A soccer funeral.
Spain, USA is what we would have been getting ready for, and the hype would have been out of control. Instead, total dud, and now we're questioning whether we've even made, as U.S. soccer, any growth in the sport since, the World Cup came here the first time, 32 years ago.
We got a break, but I'll ask you guys real quick. Go around the room. Belgium has not just a victory against Spain, a decisive. Like, they go out there and it's like, wow, they were clearly the better team and beat Spain on Friday. Does that minimize this loss in any way, shape, or form? Maybe this Belgium team is a lot better than we thought they were?
No, because the way we played was just terrible.
Ray, does it soothe the pain any more if Belgium wallops Spain?
Ask me if that happens after the fact. I couldn't see it now. I couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely, for me.
It will.
If they go up and wallop Spain, yeah.
Remember, Spain hasn't given up a goal the entire tournament.
Yes.
Belgium wins 3-1 on a Friday.
But isn't the goal for the U.S. to compete with these kind of
Absolutely.
teams?
Well, but that would tell you Belgium's on a higher plane. I was telling you guys during the break, I think that there's 3 tiers of teams, and I think we're at the top of the third one. I think there's teams that can win the World Cup, like are favored to win the World Cup, and there's only a couple of them. Then there's that next group of teams where if things go right, if things break your way, you could find yourself in the final, and we'll see what happens. You could win the World Cup. We're not capable right now. Obviously, today's the day where it sounds foolish. We're not capable of even making a run to the final. Maybe Belgium's better than we think. I didn't think so, but who knows? If they go up and they smash Spain, their keeper has the longest stretch of clean sheet in World Cup history, yeah, that would change the way I look at this defeat.
Our colleague and our good friend Harvey, who works at the station here, and without question, the most astute soccer observer we have here at the place. Nobody watches more, nobody absorbs and digests more soccer than him. He is the go-to, and that's why we talk about it a lot on the show on Saturday mornings. He tweeted out, I don't know why the hell he's up this early, but anyway, he tweeted out that this isn't debatable. Their World Cup was a failure. Hired Pochettino, paid him millions, which is all true. You had to come out of this beating a credible team. Belgium was top 10 and pantsed you at your place in front of the world. You should expect better by now. Failure. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm just impressed by the pants reference right there.
Right?
That's good.
That's good.
That's good. I haven't heard that in a while.
It's like the Mick. This is like the one the closer to home version.
You're getting we call it the Mick taken out of you. You're being laughed at.
We got more than
as it stands right now.
Yeah. We got more than just the Mick. 800-919-3776. We hear from you when we return. We'll also get some post-mortem from the particulars on the pitch last night. It's GNR for DNR on ESPN New York.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with a substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. So if you're looking to get into the biggest tournament in the world, now is your time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with a substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino and Associates, and I know how a serious accident can change your life just like that.
I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and I understand that with pain comes medical bills and time out of work. Let us get you justice.
This is John Ryan, the closer. For over 35 years, our family has been getting accident victims every dollar they deserve.
I started this firm for the injured so they can bite back against the insurance companies.
Our legacy is to get you justice. Bite back.
To get you paid, bite back.
At D'Agostino and Associates, bite back means fight back. When you're hurt and they blame you, we bite back and get you every dollar you deserve. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, so call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. 1-800-248-3222. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
Big events are bringing more riders across the region. So if you're taking New Jersey Transit for everyday trips, plan ahead. Check schedules, allow extra time, and consider traveling outside of peak hours when you can. New Jersey Transit is running additional service to help keep everyone moving. But a little planning goes a long way. Stay aware, be courteous, and ride smart. New Jersey Transit, keeping your day on track. Plan your trip at njtransit.com.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When's the last time payroll was the easy part of your week? With Gusto, it can be. Gusto is the all-in-one platform designed to take the hassle out of managing your team, from payroll and compliance to hiring, onboarding, and more. With Gusto, you can get back 2 full days each month with all the time you've saved. Go to gusto.com today and learn why over 500,000 small businesses choose Gusto. That's GUSTO.com. Gusto.com.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Heat up your 4th of July at the Home Depot with our wide variety of grills under $300 and make every gathering one to remember. Give your outdoor space a glow up, whatever your budget is, with savings on seasonal plants starting at $5. With the grill fired up and your backyard set to perfection, you'll be able to invite friends and family over to kick off the party. Start celebrating with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Prices may vary by store. Exclusions apply. See HomeDepot.com/price match for details.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
All right, GNR in for DNR ESPN New York. Now, this summer, all lines lead to Champ Sports Fan Central Station. That's right. It is a soccer pop-up shop open right in the heart of the city, 125 West 33rd Street. And you know what? Even though the United States run of this World Cup is over, it doesn't matter because this is the soccer destination in New York with jerseys for every national team you ride with. So you know what? You want to ride with England? They're still playing. Argentina, they're still playing. They're taking on Egypt later today. Or any other country you still want to rep with, including the United States. Who cares, right? This is the place for you. Champs has it all under one roof. And if you want to gear up, rep your country, and feel the energy of the city, Champ Sports Fan Central Station, 125 West 33rd Street. That is where you need to be, guys. And for all you Knicks fans out there, you're not left out in the cold either because they've got championship gear to celebrate your team's first title in 53 years. Soccer stuff, Knicks championship stuff. Champ Sports Fan Central Station, 125 West 33rd Street.
Still want my Balogun jersey. Go to Champs.
Go to Champs.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Champs.
You might get a good deal on it, too, because they're not playing any longer. Let us hear from, we're not going to hear from Flo Balogun, but you want to hear.
He's not going to tell us how he put it over from 6 yards out?
No, we're not going to hear that. Do you want to hear from Tyler Adams speaking with Fox Sports on what head coach Mauricio Pochettino's message to the team was after the loss?
Absolutely.
That tonight can't be a direct reflection of what we were trying to accomplish because, again, you have good days and you have bad days, and today was one of our bad days, and it got the best of us. We came out here with the ambition that we can go really far in this tournament. We didn't obviously go as far as we'd like. That being said, if we inspired just a few kids throughout this journey, then we did something right.
And here is the head coach, and his future is certainly going to be up in the air as to whether or not he's going to run it back with the national team, whether the Soccer Federation wants to go in a new direction. Here he was to Fox Sports after the loss.
When we celebrate victories, we were a family, and we hug each other, and we love each other. And now when we lose, we lose. After the defeat, it's being all together, and because of that no good emotion, cannot change how we see the things. That I feel very proud. It was an amazing journey all together. We make proud the whole country.
One more before we get to the calls here. Here was Casey Keller. Remember, he was a former national team player. He was a goalie, right?
Probably could have used him yesterday, too.
Back in the day. He was the goalie after Tony Meola, as a matter of fact. So here was Casey Keller on ESPN. Was this indeed a failure for the U.S. men's national team?
I wouldn't go failure. I think the team did, fine. I mean, they beat the teams they were supposed to beat. I was kind of really hoping that the Turkey game was going to mean something, because I think that would have been a great little test to see where they were pushing forward. But it was a good tournament. It wasn't a great tournament. They needed to come up with one of those special results that they weren't able to today. I mean, Belgium looked like the Belgium we expected from day one. They really put the U.S. on their heels from the very first minute, and the U.S. just couldn't respond. They needed to be cleaner. They needed to be better, and they weren't, and they got humbled tonight.
But see, I'm glad that we had the Bosnia game after the Turkey game, because the Turkey game, he had all the subs in there and didn't win, okay. But the fact that we still won a game after that, I think it kind of cleans the palate a little bit from what happened in that game, because I don't think if we went out there and played with our starters, and I know that there were guys that had yellow cards and everything, if we played our normal lineup against Turkey, and even if we won the game, I still don't think it would have had any impact on last night. None.
No, I just think what he's saying is that's kind of the team. Those are the teams that are at our level. And that's the reality check that we're in. And it would have been a good test to see if they were, because Turkey, the reality is, I know they didn't advance, but they probably were the second most talented team in our group.
Right, they had a disappointing World Cup, actually.
Yeah, I mean, but they dominated their opening game against Australia and lost 2-0. Like, sometimes that's just how it goes, and they kind of spiraled in the wrong way for them.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's what he's saying. Is like that's where our level of competition is for the United States, which is the real reality check.
Right, and we need
that's
to get
where
to the
we
next
are,
level.
Dan.
How do we get to the next level is the question. We've been asking that question, or everybody that follows soccer has been asking that question for 3 decades now. All right, let's go to the phones.
What's the answer?
If I had the answer, I'd be making a lot more money probably working for U.S. Soccer, but I'm not. Nobody has that answer. People think they know, but they don't. The results tell you that they don't. Like I said, this has been 3 decades. The same things that we heard after last night's game are the same things that we've heard after every World Cup ouster since 1994.
And you know what would have helped? What would have helped that we didn't get? The marquee victory.
Right.
Like to get that next generation, an extra level of youth into wanting to be the people that get them over the hump. But didn't get there.
Joe in Ocean Gate, he starts us off here on ESPN New York. Joe, good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning, Dan and Jordan. How you guys doing this morning, man?
Good, Joey. What's up?
All right, yeah. So I got a culinary trash for you guys, but I just think that going off of what I saw last night, the U.S. the team looked nervous. They hard touches. They just come out nervous, and they just definitely did not play their best game at all. And culinary trash for you guys. Who's gonna win a championship first? Either the men's national team, the Jets, or the Mets? I love you guys, man. Have a great week. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Joe, thanks for the phone call. I think the trash is easy, and that's the soccer team. We're never going to win a World Cup.
Probably not in our lifetime.
Not in our lifetime. No way.
It is also. I mean, it's hard.
Yeah. But we've talked about this. For
8 countries have
for
done
ages.
it in history.
It's tough to sit here and talk about a sport and trying to get to the next level where you're going up against nations where that sport is their livelihoods. It's their religion. These European teams, they eat, breathe, and sleep soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. Like,
Not
that's
just
their
European. I mean,
lives.
Brazil, Argentina,
international teams, you name it. Like, that's their lives. And for us, the pecking order of sports. Like, you know what I was thinking about yesterday too? We just won the gold medal in hockey at the Olympics.
Oh.
Right?
Jack Hughes. Yeah.
Jack Hughes. Men's and women's team. They both won it. And then I was thinking to myself, I was like, boy, if we ever made a special run here with the soccer team, like, which would carry more weight? And I'm not trying to, throw cold water on what the hockey teams did, but, remember, the Olympics go on for 2 weeks. The hockey portion of the Olympics don't even last, the entire 14 days. You know what I mean? It's that's... You don't throw the gold medal back. It was still great. We all celebrated. We all got patriotic, but it was kind of get hot at the right time. You know what I mean? And you're playing with world-class players on your team, right, who play in the best league in the world. We can't say that about the soccer players that we have on our team. They're not all playing in the best league,
But they are all playing in Europe at this point, which is why Joe just said they look nervous and overwhelmed, and I agree with that assessment. I think we all probably agree with that. They just look shaky from the start. Then these guys are playing overseas and playing in big games. I didn't think we were at the point where we would, as a United States soccer team, wilt under the bright lights in that kind of situation.
That's exactly what happened.
Exactly what happened. And Christian Pulisic is our best player. He's been in the Champions League final. He played in that game. He shouldn't be wilting in this game. He turned it over 11 times in 45 minutes. He was dispossessed.
I don't want to.
Worst of any player on the field.
Here's the thing about Christian Pulisic, and I don't know who had a hand in this or who decides this, whether this is Madison Avenue, whether this is U.S. Soccer, whatever, or a combination of the two. Christian Pulisic was the only player from this team in the lead up to the World Cup, during the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
How everybody jumps on the bandwagon and rolls out all the advertisements, all the commercials, everything. Christian Pulisic was the only freaking player on this team that was in a commercial. And he was in about 15 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one, whether it was beer, whether it was Hershey's, whether it was McDonald's, whether you name it. It's only Christian Pulisic. And I get it. You talked about all the accomplishments, and he's a wonderful player. Maybe the most gifted player we've ever produced here on the national team. But he did not have a great tournament. And if you want to keep it real, okay, this is the same Christian Pulisic, and this is well documented, that last year in the Gold Cup final, the Gold Cup, which was here on our soil, okay, on our soil, again, he chose to not play for the United States in the Gold Cup because he wanted to rest. He wanted to clear his mind, rest his body, to be as healthy and prepared as whatever for the World Cup this summer. And we didn't win the Gold Cup last summer.
Got to bring it then. You got to perform.
And he did not bring it during this World Cup. He didn't. Okay? 2 of the games he didn't even finish because of injury. Missed another one. You know what I'm saying? You can't be this, people want to paint you as this godly figure when it comes to the sport, being all these commercials, all these ads, and marketed the way that they market him, and this is the output you put forward. And that's why you have countries around the world that look at this country as a soccer program and see a guy like Christian Pulisic, who they're going to put up on a billboard and market him everywhere, and then this is the output on the field. That's why they laugh at us.
Yeah.
That's why we get micked.
It's like if you talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. Like you got to bring it. You can't want all the praise and everything that comes with it and then not produce and not expect the blowback that's going to come with that. And that's where Christian Pulisic is right now. Had to go. Did you think that was a foul, by the way?
No.
He goes to shoot, and the guy's foot gets in between him and the ball.
No. I didn't think it was.
No?
I've seen a lot worse. There was a lot worse in that game.
I only think it might have been a foul because we saw, was it the penalty shot that went against Croatia?
Right.
And, it was kind of similar, but I guess neither of them, Pulisic never actually got to the ball, but wasn't he impeded to get to the ball? I don't know. In retrospect, not that it would have mattered.
No, it wouldn't have mattered.
It wouldn't have mattered.
That's the thing. Let's say hi to Jose in the Bronx. He's next year on ESPN New York. Jose, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Graza. Hello, Jordan. And shout out to the company as always. With the USA, and thank you for taking my call. For the USA Soccer, as you mentioned, and as Harvey mentioned, I look at this, I won't say it's an abject failure, but I do think of this as a massive disappointment. And the reason I think of this as a massive disappointment was because leading up into this World Cup, there was an actual possibility of making of repeating that 2002 run, making a quarterfinal, or possibly even getting into a semifinal if things really played out, our way. And to watch this game and I know RJ didn't want to take it there, but I felt like maybe this squad kind of read their press clippings. They kind of knew that this Belgium team was on their last legs. This is their last chance for their golden generation. They possibly looked at, how successful this World Cup was, the press clippings and everything, and they got kind of blasted, and they ran into a team that, from a culture standpoint, is very hardcore, and they're going to come out and no matter what, and they pretty much blasted us from the very beginning. And even when we fought back, got that goal, the quickness and how we gave up the second goal was just a reminder of, if you're not going to have the intensity and have that focus in the biggest stage of the game, this is the ultimate separation of the teams that are the dark horses that end up going into those quarterfinals and making those runs into the semifinals, and the teams that pretty much lose in the round of 16 and find their way going home. And I think that the most disappointing part is we saw how Mexico played, we saw how Cape Verde played in their losing stretches, and those were like magical games that people will talk about for years. And yet for the United States, this is something that I just want to forget about, and hopefully, the next World Cup can kind of, obliterate how we performed in this game, because nobody played well. Besides Belungen and a couple of plays that he looked good, and then Tillman with the free kick, everybody else I just felt like was trash. And, poor Tim Ream, who's a Red Bull product, he was just, it was literally on him on one of those goals. So it was totally a disappointment for me as a fan that has been watching since that 2002 run where we as Dan mentioned, where we did beat Mexico in that late night and then had that 1-0 loss to Germany. So
that's the standard now. That 2002.
Yeah. That's it. And Jose, you're right, man. And thanks for the phone call as always. I appreciate it. But how do we get there? Right? How do we get? I'm looking back at the results here in the round of 16, like in this World Cup. Just on the scoreboard, the two most lopsided games were last night and Saturday afternoon, Morocco, when they blanked Canada 3-0. Now, I don't know if you saw after that game, Canada's coach is Jesse Marsh, who's American. Mm-hmm. And Jesse Marsh is a guy who thinks that he deserved the USA job, never got it. And he's
a character.
He's a character.
To say the least.
He's got a lot of bluster. We know that, and he's not afraid to speak his mind, and he says some wacky things, and he said a wacky thing after that game on Saturday because he was interviewed by Fox on the field afterwards when his team loses 3-0, and he goes, "I'd rather be us than them, than Morocco," even after the 3-0 game. It's like, okay, well, fine. Then you're going home. But At least we didn't get that last night from after the game, because that would have been, like, to me, like, really losers lament, like coming off and, we got embarrassed, but I'd rather be us than Belgium. No, you wouldn't. We've had the worst performance probably out of the round of 16. Out of the 8 teams that are going to be going home, and 2 more will today.
I don't even think it's debatable.
It's not even debatable. And I thought we were better than that, right? We had exhibited we were better than that.
The thing is, we thought we were past that point as a soccer country.
You lose a game like that last night, it happens usually in the group stage, and you're not even good enough to come out of the group. That's usually what ends up happening, because your flaws are exhibited. You're like, oh, my gosh, like maybe we're not as good as we thought. Like, I don't know if you remember, 98 was a massive, massive disappointment with the world. Because 94, remember, yay!
Which was 98?
Well, 94, we had it home. We made it to the knockout round, whatever. You know, the game against Colombia, we won in the groups, whatever. So then 98, which I want to say was in France, maybe France or Germany. I can't remember where the site of the 98 was. We didn't even make it out of group stage. We got
college-age Jordan might have been spending big days, so I think I blocked that one out.
98 was a massive, massive disappointment for U.S. soccer. Like, we did not even make it out of the group. It was awful. Then we come back in 2002 and we have the longest run we've had all the way to the quarterfinals. Like, this isn't that. But this type of performance last night is reserved for, like, a team in the group stage that isn't very good. And that's why it's deflating, that you felt like you had a really legit chance of getting to the quarterfinals.
I don't look at it, and I know Jose brought it up, as like, I'm not putting the blame on that. Okay, they were probably reading their press clippings. We don't really know the answer to that. But to me, it looked like they were more overwhelmed and nervous and just incapable of playing in that moment. That, to me, not preparation or anything. No. They just looked super tight. They looked like a team that was scared to make a mistake, that was like looking for everyone else to make a play. And there was no play that stands out more about that exemplifies that than the opening goal, where the two guys are just looking at each other, thinking that someone else is going to go get the ball. And, Belgium comes in, gets it, boom, goal.
RJ, are you familiar with, you guys are familiar with Andres Cantor, right?
Oh, sure.
Of course. And for those who don't know, Andres Cantor
He's the best.
He's
the goal guy.
Goal, right.
Yeah, the goal dude.
He fired off a few tweets after the game last night. Right. That's Andres Cantor. And his son Nico is in media now, and he covers soccer, and he does a real good job.
Should I let this keep playing? Or?
Nah, you can let it go, because we don't want his voice to burn out, right?
It doesn't burn out.
So he fired off a few things after the game last night, and one in particular, and he brings up the 98 World Cup. He says, long after the 1998 World Cup, we found out why the USA finished last. And I guess by letter of the law, we finished last. That's how bad we were in that 98 World Cup. The team arrived broke, with a big internal fight in the locker room. I hope we don't have to wait long to find out what happened today with a team that had been competing well, with moments of good soccer and the grit that Pochettino always wanted. Today it had neither one thing nor the other, and I fear it's knocked out by the noise from an off-field issue that came crashing down on them. That's where people are going to also point the finger at what happened on Sunday, as if that had any impact on the performance last night. I can't go there. I really and truly, if the Balogun nonsense with FIFA had any sort of an impact on either side last night, I would say it was with Belgium.
What does that have to do with them being unable to possess the ball and pass and convert passes and complete easy passes that they just weren't able to complete, turning the ball over? Go watch the first half. The number of just foolish turnovers of guys looking like they were scared to do anything inventive and make a play, to me, has nothing to do with the whole red card Balogun stuff. First of all, Balogun also had a couple opportunities to score,
right?
And he didn't take advantage of them either. While we're at it,
I definitely think that Belgium was fueled by it, because they felt that, like, people were out to get them,
sure,
and the whole thing was rigged, as they said, and they spoke their mind. The coach spoke their mind on Sunday. Us against the world. The April Fools and the July 5th, blah blah blah. And they went out there and they proved it. And they couldn't wait to shove it in our face, and they did. So if that decision had any impact on either side last night, it was Belgium, and gave them an extra bit of wind in their sails. I really and truly believe that.
You know what might be the most disappointing for me thing coming out of this?
Mm-hmm.
Is now I have to go back to watching the Yankees and Mets on an everyday basis.
Well, no, you still got some. You got soccer today. You got 2 more games.
I know, but you're not quite invested in the same degree anymore.
But now, guess what this is, though?
I'm just watching, just popping in casually. I'm going to be watching.
But this is the cream of the crop.
Watching the Yankees every night.
These are the best teams. We're not the best teams.
There's less game. Like, what are you going to do tonight?
Probably going to watch baseball tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because the games are this afternoon.
Well, exactly. Exactly. We're going to be back to watching the Mets and the Yankees.
And there's only today and Saturday are the only 2 days left of this tournament where there's more than one game in a day. So 800-919-3776. Quick timeout. We come back. We'll get into the baseball and continue on the soccer conversation as well. Back. Yeah, right. G and R in for D and R on ESPN New York. Time to get a look at the roads. It's 7 a.m. We say good morning to Debbie Duhane.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Jordan. Yeah, tough loss for the United States last night, and this is tough as well. The westbound BQE getting down toward Atlantic Avenue. It's an accident. The right lane is blocked. The Hutch North at Wolves Lane and Pelham, watch for an accident. Palisades Parkway closed as you get into the Bear Mountain Circle. Repair work from yesterday's storms. Still seeing delays on the Uptown D, N, and R trains. New Jersey Transit, a 45-minute delay on the Gladstone branch. Sponsored by the Empire State Building. See the best of what New York has to offer at the reimagined Empire State Building observation deck. Immerse yourself in an authentic New York experience with a new interactive museum and unmatched views from the heart of the city. Tickets at empirestatebuilding.com/radio. I'm Debbie Duhame, 880 ESPN New York.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payouts so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pregame, straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
We took a giant you-know-what on that field.
What went wrong? I mean, what went right?
Freeze has got to get there and deal with it. He takes it down off the chest to Keteler and knocks it away.
My goodness have seen that coming in a million years.
We mistook our evaluation of this team was psychologically and mentally what they would do if they faced adversity. They weren't ready for the moment.
Is this World Cup a failure, or is it a disappointment?
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
All right, it is GNR, Grasa Renan in for DNR here on ESPN New York. World Cup dream ends for the United States. They are humbled, dare I say outclassed, last night in Seattle, 4-1 by the Belgians. Not in the mood for waffles this morning.
No?
No. Nope.
Then what are we doing instead?
Give me a day. I think we need Ray. Right? I think steer clear of the waffles maybe for a day. After that one,
just go
pancakes.
Just get a big omelet. Yeah, big pancakes. Pancakes over waffles all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You can't dive into those waters just yet.
I mean, listening to that recap, I mean, you're like on a poop, run here.
He's just on a run in general.
Yeah.
First hour or something.
Yeah. Got fired up.
See, today you were the one.
Got fired up.
You were the one bringing the energy. You going to be okay by Friday? Thursday, Friday?
I'll be great. Well, somebody had to bring the energy after last night because obviously the team didn't bring anything.
Poop their pants?
I can't believe
Is that what you said?
I can't believe it ended
something
like
on the field?
that. Yes.
It's like a Kevin Harlan saying, I think.
Yeah. They went to the middle of the field, they lifted their leg, and out goes the World Cup. That's what happened. Before we get into the baseball stuff, we've got CMT coming up a little bit later on this hour. Let's say hi to Tony. He's in Queens. He's up next here on ESPN New York. Tony, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking the call. As bad as the U.S. played yesterday, the reality is that this is a reminder of how far behind of this kind of competition. It was an embarrassment, like you say, Dan. This is the kind of score you see for a small nation coming in the early stages or qualified and get beat down like that. Like New Zealand got beat by Belgium 5-1. It is an embarrassment. And I think I didn't agree with the whole red card situation and letting him play and all that. And it did also affect the U.S. It affects Belgium, like you said, because it gives you a chip on the shoulder. It gives you an extra edge to try to play. But the reality is that at this level, you log in and you prepare. And after that red card was issued, this team was also preparing to play. And the day before, you insert this guy back into the lineup. It does affect a little bit. I don't know how much it's affecting to the outcome, but the reality is it's very plain and simple. We're not ready to compete with this kind of nation. And Belgium is not even that good at the level of Spain, Portugal, France, and all these powerhouses. And we got really embarrassed and humbled yesterday.
100%. Tony, you're preaching to the choir with that one. And thanks a lot for the phone call. Now, the one thing that might change over the next few days is we might find out this Belgium team was better than we gave it credit for. Because if they go and play well against Spain, okay, then they're in the semifinals of the World Cup, and you're like, maybe we should have given a little bit more credit. But go by the odds. That game yesterday was even money, wasn't it? And at times we were, like, depending on the line, we were a slight favorite.
Think about it for a second. Even money playing at home means what? Means what? Well, who did everybody think was the better team outside of this country?
Belgium.
Yes.
Because nobody pays any mind to us, that's why.
Right. But also, the fact that we're even money at home doesn't mean that or favored at home doesn't mean we're the better team. There's a big advantage that you usually get a lot in soccer for playing at home. So the fact that we were only even money at home shows you where we're at. We're still not considered at the level of Belgium. And if yesterday showed anything, it's we're not even in the same stratosphere as Belgium.
Not even close. And that's the big disappointment, is that we took a major step back.
And by the way, before the game, it comes out, Belgium's like two most accomplished offensive players, three, I should say, aren't even starting.
Well, that's the way they've played because they're older guys. And De Bruyne didn't even get off the bench last night. Think about it. Like, 35 years old, he's sitting there on the bench, and now they got him fresh as a daisy for the Spain game. Because that's how much of a laugher that was.
The greatest Belgian player in history.
It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And when Lukaku came in that game last night and he scored that last goal.
You knew he was going to score, right?
It was almost like, and I texted you guys, I said, he looked like he ran on the field. He looked like Cam Chancellor, who used to play in that stadium for the Seahawks. It was like a man against boys. When he just went there, it's like, give me my lunch money.
Yeah.
Do
you know who he looks like?
Who that?
Yeah, I'm sure you haven't seen this at all. Leonard Fournette. That was in a couple
of
my chats.
Yes, that's a good call.
Yeah.
And Leonard Fournette was a beast.
Yeah. He's running people over like Leonard Fournette.
Right there.
I mean, but the reality was that was just a microcosm of the entire game. First of all, the game was over by then. But just another turnover, right? Deep in their own zone, silly pass, and boom, boom, goal.
Jeremy Schaap, the great Jeremy Schaap on ESPN Radio.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the ceiling for this program. He said, well, this is where we're at.
We're talking about a level at which we've seen the U.S. crash out time and again over the course of the last quarter century. When they have gotten out of the group stage, when they have qualified for the tournament, so putting aside 2006 and 2018, this is where they exit. This is, 2010, we lost to Ghana in the round of 16. 2014, it was Belgium, despite Tim Howard's heroics in that game in Salvador. 2022, it was the Dutch. And this time, it was the Belgians. This was not one of those games where they can walk away from it and say, boy, we were so close, right? This was a thrashing. This was comprehensive. They were lucky to be down by a goal at the half.
Doesn't sound good.
But he's not wrong.
No, there's nothing I would argue out of what he said right there.
The word thrashing, I think, stands out because when you think about exits in the World Cup that we've had, and he outlined them all, this was the only one that you could say, okay, that was a thrashing. Like we didn't belong.
Do you think a month from now, your outlook on this will change at all?
No. In terms
There's no
of
like recency bias, like because you don't think a month from now you'll be able to kind of brush it off a little bit, saying, you know what, that was just a disastrous game. We just played a terrible game.
Well, the outlook on the game isn't going to change. You mean the outlook on the tournament itself?
The tournament. The outlook on the game is never going to change.
No, I think
that was just a disaster, thrashing, whatever you want to call it.
No, because this is what it's like. This leaves the taste in your mouth. Remember, we're not just we're past the point. Like in 1994, it was get out of the group. That was the goal. Now in 2026, it should be, can we move past the round of 16? Like we've been kicking this can down the road for 30 years. It's time to show some progress. And to lose that game in the manner in which they lost that game, like we've talked about the Belgium game in 2014 was more competitive than last night. The Dutch game 4 years ago,
pretty much every game they've played in the last decade has been more competitive. That was a non-competitive game.
Our ousters, you know what I mean, against far superior sides that we knew. It's like, okay, we know we're not good enough, but maybe, just maybe, we get a lucky bounce of the ball here or there, and we could find a way to maybe escape. Like yesterday's game in the afternoon, like the Portugal-Spain game. I'm sitting there for 9, and I even told you guys yesterday, I'm like, best thing to hope for, get the thing to 90 minutes tied, and then get it to somehow extra stoppage time and then to penalty kicks, and then it's a coin flip, right? That's what I'm hoping for, and I thought that they were almost there because you get to the 90th minute, stoppage time, and then boom, they have a lapse, and then the ball's in the back of the net. That's what maybe you kind of hope for in these scenarios when you're outclassed, but we were outclassed from the jump.
RJ, help us out here.
He's on the phone.
Oh. When is the last big U.S. win? Like, when have they beaten a powerhouse or really big team?
On the World Cup level?
Anything.
Have they ever?
Well, we've won gold cups. We've won, but
when's our last win against like a top 10 type team? We're talking years now. This United States team hasn't won a big game against a really, really high-level team.
Well, remember,
in several years.
Against Europe, for crying out loud, we don't perform well against those teams. The win against Bosnia last week was the first one we've had against a European team in 5 years. Yeah, and it was also against Bosnia.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking European teams, well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, what are the biggest wins of the last couple of decades? The Algeria win, Landon Donovan's goal. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean,
we've beaten like Brazil, I think, in like the last 5 years or so. But like we don't have like when our last big win is now years removed.
The 2002 World Cup when we went to the quarterfinals. Okay, we beat Mexico in the round of 16. We beat Portugal in group play. We jumped out to a 3-0 lead in that game.
Yeah.
And that was a Portugal team that was, the quote-unquote, the golden generation at the time, but they had been known for underachieving. You know what I mean? And they didn't even qualify in the previous World Cup. So
we won a couple big Gold Cup games in the last, 5 years, against, really,
right, but you know what the problem
is? Or Brazil.
The entire world's not paying attention to that.
But I'm just saying, it's been years since this team has even had a really, really high-level win. And until we start at least sprinkling those in once in a while, it's hard to take them seriously that they've made this massive progress and growth. Like, my eyes tell me that they play a better brand of football and that they're more talented and more guys are playing overseas. But now it's produced results at some point. Like, when?
Hey, remember?
Where?
Go back to the last time the World Cup was here, 94. Who did we lose to in the round of 16? We lost to Brazil, and that was a 1-0 game, which was leaps and bounds more competitive than last night, and that Brazil team won the damn tournament, right? They won the tournament in 94, and it was 1-0. There's no justification for what happened last night. It was just, let's say hi to Frank in Westchester, who's up next here on ESPN New York. Frank, good morning. How are you?
Hey there, guys. Apologies if I'm late and covered all this stuff, but I just on the radio now, and like, honestly, they took it to us defensively. It's like they knew. I don't know if it's fitness or nerves, but you saw it right away. We couldn't get a free ball. We couldn't get separation. They were in our business. On offense, we were bunched up, drawing defenders to the ball. Like, we weren't giving lanes. I think that's nerves. I think that's also when you recognize as a player that you can't, like, from the U.S. perspective, you can't separate. You can't get your space. And so it's a little bit of panic. It was so glaring how from the start, we couldn't get any separation, and they defended every ball we had. And so, again, nerves or fitness, or just the fact that they had a plan, Belgium, to, like, take it to us defensively, put us on our heels, and we could not recover. And that was obvious, because once we realized we really couldn't score, it was game over. And you could just tell it in the demeanor. Very, very frustrating, very disappointing.
No, Frank, you hit it right on the head. I mean, frustration, disappointment, all those things rolled into one. And the fact of the matter is, the entire world is still all in on this tournament, because it's the biggest tournament out there. So, like, the soccer-breathing world is still locked into the World Cup. Bottom line is they're waking up this morning laughing at the United States soccer team. Remember, we're not very well liked around the world as it is. No. And so any chance that the globe gets to have their laugh at our expense, and in this case it's going to be soccer, they're going to take advantage of that. So all like the, soccer-fueled publications or programs or whatever you want to call it today, we've got the clown mask on, right? We've got the clown mask on for what we showed last night on the field. It was bad.
Yeah, the Mick. We're the Mick.
We got micked.
Yeah.
We got micked.
We got micked.
But now we turn the page from the World Cup. And look, the World Cup's still going on. Enjoy the games. Watch the games. It's still going to be good soccer. We just won't be participating in it. And now we got baseball. And the Yanks at least can have their fans breathe a little bit easy after last night. And the Mets even give their fans a win, even though they tried really hard to blow it. We'll talk about that when we return. We got CMT coming up a little bit later on this hour as well. It is GNR and for DNR right here on ESPN New York.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. So if you're looking to get in on the biggest tournament in the world, now is your time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. Did you know Social Security takes money out of every paycheck you earn? Paycheck after paycheck. And you're not supposed to touch that money until you're 67? What if you can't work? What if you need that money now? The system is challenging and most people get denied. That's a fact. D'Agostino & Associates has the experience to win, and we win a lot. If you filed for Social Security disability benefits and were denied, let us appeal. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. Bite back means fight back. 1-800-248-3222. We'll fight to get you paid. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and handles Social Security disability claims and appeals. Remember, if you've been denied, call us first. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates. We win a lot.
When's the last time payroll was the easy part of your week? With Gusto, it can be. Gusto is the all-in-one platform designed to take the hassle out of managing your team, from payroll and compliance to hiring, onboarding, and more. With Gusto, you can get back 2 full days each month with all the time you have saved. Go to gusto.com today and learn why over 500,000 small businesses choose Gusto. That's Gusto.com. Gusto.com.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
All right, GNR for DNR here on ESPN New York, 800-919-3776. So the World Cup, as far as the U.S. involvement, is over with, and now we turn that page. We hoped we wouldn't have to turn it for at least a few more days, get greedy, maybe another week, but it is here, and that is, of course, the baseball season, which... Turn on the mic. There you go.
I'm still scrolling through the list to try to find big U.S. wins. I found in the last few years ties against Brazil.
There you go.
They had the England with the last World Cup. They tied 0-0.
That's right. And in the one,
not a win though.
No,
still don't have the big win.
Oh, that was on Black Friday.
Yes, you're right. Because a buddy of mine over in the UK, I remember who I was working with at the time. Obviously, a big soccer guy, and to them, they consider that like a loss.
Yeah.
For us, it was like a win, and we actually played pretty well that game.
Yeah, we played solid.
They had a chance to win that game. They did.
Yeah, and it was 0-0. But that was like the World Cup 4 years ago, like we were talking about it. Like, it's so strange because, again, it was in November and December. And even we were having this conversation during the break, and I said to RJ, I said, let's say like one of the semifinal games is incredible. Or this World Cup final on the 19th is going to be something like, it's just going to be like an epic game. Like, how big of a conversation point do you think it'll be at all for the rest of this tournament? And, you brought up the final with Argentina and France from 4 years ago. But, yeah, the problem with that one was is that was on a Sunday in December when it was an NFL Sunday. So, like, the next day when everybody came back to work and you were doing your shows, football was the big story.
I think we'll get mentions of the semifinals and finals because it's on our home turf. And because there's such big stars, it's kind of caught our attention here.
Well, and the championship
as
game,
Americans.
And the championship game is in our backyard. I mean, that's at MetLife. So, I mean, if it's special,
even
it's
more so.
You know. But right, RJ, I mean, like, unfortunately, it's now you're going to find out once again that, like, soccer has its place and it has to be really directed and contingent upon the national team being successful.
Yeah, most places are going to put soccer to bed. I mean, and listen, like we talk about sometimes on this show, like, I mean, heck, that's where, so this drop, we played a lot.
Lauren Belugan.
That drop is over 3 years old, and that came, I believe, from a Stuff You Missed when I told them that Balogun was committed to play. Like, it was, I try and, like, work it in. I'm a fan of the U.S. men's national team. I follow club level soccer to some extent, but I'm a fan of the U.S. men's national team. I'm dialed in all the time to that. So it's tough that a lot of outlets, most shows, most platforms are pretty much going to put it to bed today. And you'll get score updates. Hey, what a great semifinal, what a great final. England, Argentina, France, whatever it ends up being, Spain. And
Messi winning another World Cup or winning the Golden Boot, whatever.
And we're going to move on. And then in 4 years, we're going to have the same conversations. Like, not only does the team not move forward, but the conversations do not move forward. Like Jordan, you were talking about the youth. It's like that's still one of the main tentpole conversations surrounding soccer in this country. Or, hey, what, like the afternoon show did the 20 minutes, and it was funny about, the clock goes up instead of down, stoppage time. How do you know how much time? We never really have, like, graduate level conversations about the sport.
Right.
And we're stuck there. And we put the car back in park now, and now we wait 4 more years.
Yeah.
You're right.
Harvey Cruz, producer extraordinaire, he chimed in. He sent me a text. The last really big U.S. win against a really, really high-level competition, 2009 beat number 1 Spain. So, but we're talking 8 years ago.
And that was 2009. That's 17 years ago. Yeah.
17.
Right. We got to get Jordan. Let's give Jordan a remedial math test.
I was
at some point
thinking
today.
19.
He said so
I was
confidently,
thinking 19,
too.
yeah.
That was 8 years ago.
He's like, right, Art, that's a good pull by RJ there. It's like, yeah, he had conviction.
What did I tell you? By the end of the week, you're going to have to hold me up.
There you go.
So it already feels like the end of the week.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
it's only Tuesday.
It feels like the end of the week already.
Yeah,
did you have your coffee this morning?
I did not.
You didn't? No coffee?
Nah.
No Wawa stop.
I didn't stop at Wawa this morning. You know why? I just drove past it, and I was already past it, and I was like, oh, man, I forgot to stop.
You had one of those. This is, I should stop at, I've passed Wawa.
Yeah, I was like, oh, man.
We've come too far. We can't go back.
What time did you fall asleep?
Last night?
Yeah.
Probably like midnight-ish.
Yeah.
That's about right.
That's about right. You get about 4. If you're lucky, you get about 4.
This sleep schedule is getting the best of me already.
Did you get a nap yesterday at least? Like after the show?
An hour.
That's but you get an hour, you take the hour.
No, I'm not complaining.
You know? That's sometimes the best you could get. Right, Ray? I mean, you get an hour.
Sometimes you get stuck with the hour. I hope that's not what happened, but sometimes that's what you get. I woke up at like 2:30 this morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep.
Oh, no.
It was the worst. It's the worst.
Wait, does everybody here take a nap every day?
I try.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
every day?
No, sometimes you try to. Like last week, there were a couple of days where I was on the couch and I just dozed off while like the World Cup was on for maybe 20 minutes, and that counted as the nap. You just keep it. See, when you get sedentary, that's when it hits you. Like if I'm just sitting on the couch or whatever, that's when I find myself and I'll just like
no. There are days I've got to force myself. At like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock yesterday, I was out. But I got to.
And it was nice. It was nice napping yesterday because it was so dark out.
Pretty much.
Dreary.
That makes
day.
it a little easier.
Yeah.
When I every time I leave, I do this show and I leave and I'm on my way home, I'm like, you know what? Let me squeeze a workout in before I take a nap. Never happens.
No, can't do it.
Never.
You can't do it before you take the nap. You got to do it after.
Yeah, it's got to be after, so you're refreshed a little bit.
I don't know. You guys wake up like fully refreshed. That's
well, no. You have more or less in the tank than you do otherwise.
But you know what? Like that'll help you refresh better. Like you wake up, you go to the gym, you do what you got to do, and you feel way better.
But back to that 2009.
Yes, the more important stuff here.
Spain.
The 2009 Spain game 8 years ago, by the way.
2009 from 8 years ago. That was a friendly, though, right? It wasn't like part of any tournament.
So I mean, but we're
It wasn't the World Cup. We know
no.
that.
I mean, when you're talking about the biggest matches, like Landon Down.
Confederations Cup game.
Confederations Cup.
So, but I mean, the point is that like we can name them. Like, you want to bring up Spain. You want to bring up I brought up Landon Donovan's goal against Algeria. Like Mexico, Dos Acero. Like we can name the moments. We're not really adding to them.
Right.
We're just kind of stuck in neutral.
And think about and you want to go. There's going to be a decision or a discussion, whatever it is, about the coach. I like the coach. You know, I think he brought a lot of pizzazz. Like he brought credibility. How about that? He brought credibility to this program. Everybody was buying in. They made him the highest paid national team coach we've ever had. Right. But we've done that before. Like we've kind of gone big game hunting with the coaches, like Jurgen Klinsmann. Okay, like that was the white. Remember, Jurgen Klinsmann was the white whale for a long time for U.S. soccer. Even though he was a German, but he lived in California, he made his home here. Like that was the guy they tried to get for so long. Finally got him. How did we do with that World Cup? Not good. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think. And a lot of the other coaches were, like American coaches, national team guys, the Bruce Arenas of the world. And I mean, Steve Sampson was a disaster. Guys, Bob Bradley,
Arena,
Burwalter.
Well, I mean, it's been so long. People like Bradley's son that they think he could be fast tracked for maybe 2034.
He's with the Red Bulls now.
Yeah,
but it's like It's not like football, right? Or you're not getting that I'm talking American football. You're not getting that guy who's going to come in here and wave a magic wand. And it's not like he's going to attract better players, for example.
Yeah.
Like that's still, at the end of the day, you still need the players.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, like Germany's talking to Jurgen Klopp. They would expect him, after being bounced out like a disappointing World Cup, to come in, as you said, wave a magic wand, get the best out of these players, and really turn things around. I don't know that with our showing yesterday. I mean, we came away with so many questions. What we felt, at least for me, what we felt from this run, which I think is the most energized we've ever been. It's been on our soil. Like we were all going to watch party, at least in my lifetime. It's the most fun I've ever had, like universally with people around me watching this, the run we went on. But I mean, like yesterday, even our best players, we talked about our back line and our goalkeeping were the biggest questions going in. And all due respect to Matt Freese and what he does with NYCFC. I mean, the mistakes you would see like in a men's league game. The Tim Ream, love what he's brought to the room, just got bodied, manhandled on that second goal. I mean, Christian Pulisic, he's accomplished a lot more. You
know why, RJ, on that cross? You got to jump first.
Yeah.
You got to jump first.
Christian Pulisic's accomplished much more at the club level and overseas than he has here. He has one career World Cup goal.
Yep.
Well, he hasn't even been able to finish World Cup games.
But
what's the best ability?
Availability.
Yeah, I mean, he played a really good half that Paraguay match to start the World Cup. Then he's out, and then he sits, and then he comes on against Turkey as a sub, and he's creative, and it looks pretty good. And then he was good against Bosnia, and then yesterday plays another half and gets hurt, and he gave the ball away 11 times in the half he played. So, I mean, it feels like all the momentum just went right off a cliff. Off a cliff.
It's a bitter, bitter pill to swallow. It is.
Yeah.
They have up on the screen here, Pulisic, 36 touches, 0 shots, 14 lost possessions.
Yeah, if we have the list of lost possession for everybody on this team last night, you got some doozies.
Is that bad?
Doesn't sound good. 59 minutes, 14
You ever watch an NFL game?
turnovers, basically.
And it's take like any bad offense you've watched, and it looks like the defense has they have 12, 13 guys out there.
Yeah.
It looked yesterday
100%.
Like they had. Are they playing with 12, 13?
That's what it felt like. It was like we were 2 men down. It was just the minute we had the ball, we didn't have the ball.
We were, because Ream and Freeze were on the field.
And Denston in the first half.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he was awful.
Terrible. 800-919-3776. Baseball and CMT. When we return, it is G and R and for DNR on ESPN New York.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. That's how Prime members have saved over $2 billion on grocery and household items. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Pros, save more on what you need to get the job done right now at Lowe's. Get 15% off select custom entry and interior doors. Plus, save $80 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit, now just $169. And at the Lowe's Pro Desk, bring us your materials list and get a quote in minutes. Handwritten, a photo, or even a sticky note is all you need. Keep your jobs moving faster and on budget at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Rich Eisen here with some advice. If high-interest credit card debt is grinding you down, it might be time to call an audible with a SoFi personal loan. It consolidates your debt into one low monthly payment with no fees required. And with as soon as the same-day funding, you can make the right play fast. Call an audible on your debt today at SoFi.com/debtplay. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debtplay.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
All right, GNR for DNR here on ESPN New York. We got CMT coming up a little bit later on this hour. You ready for the CMT?
My favorite game. I'm really struggling here. I'm still trying to figure out how it came up with 8. Like, where did that number 8 even pop?
Well, you got the
into my
coffee
head?
now?
Yeah.
You got the pick me up. So he's got the coffee.
Going to take a couple minutes to take effect.
It's got to kick in a little bit. Got to energize a little.
Put my microphone on. Maybe turn it off in between segments. You know,
we're going to hit you with.
We're still learning here.
Well, again, it's only Tuesday. I'm concerned.
We'll hit you with some math questions in the fourth hour just to see if you're with us yet. You know,
I mean, I don't even know how you go from
arithmetic.
2009 to 26 and come up with 8.
Hey, you know how
something else must have been going through my head at the time to even come up with that.
The years fly by.
I must have been looking at something on my screen. I don't know. Like, how do you even come up with 8?
They really and truly fly by. We'll do CMT coming up in about 10, 12 minutes or so, give or take a little bit. RJ's working hard on, I'm sure there's going to be a few soccer-themed questions in the CMT. Right, RJ? I mean, I'm not giving anything away, right?
No, we'll probably start with one.
You're not talking out of school.
I'm not telling tales. What could be better?
Nothing.
No.
It's like the Harbaugh say. You know,
who
has it better than us? Nobody.
Might be a Giants question in there, too.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of how you would phrase the soccer question. In what analogy would you use Cuddle Mary Trash to describe the beating that we took last night? Would you use a Belgian bear as an analogy?
We got mauled by a bear.
Oh my God.
We got mauled by a giant.
That's
bear.
not the word you used.
That's not the word we used. No. No.
You're the one that's off the rails here right now.
Yeah, yesterday was you. Today it's him.
Well, he's off the rails, but the energy is there. Jordan, I got to be honest, because we're a show of honesty, and I mean Dan is Dan doesn't work here 365, but he can handle himself on the shift. He knows what to expect.
Mm-hmm. Right, I have my degree. I'm a graduate of the program.
Are you worried about him? I saw he went to the coffee. It's like he's going to the bullpen early.
No, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing where I become concerned because, Dan's probably the one who's leaning a little bit more towards off the reservation today, and Jordan would. But when you're tired, you're more prone to wander off the reservation, and so I'm worried that instance can happen with you at some point. We've still got 2.5 hours here.
That I just fall off the cliff or something?
Yeah.
And then no longer exist?
Well,
I'm just not here?
You just jump off the cliff.
Well, it's only because you told us it was coming, too. You told us on Monday morning, hey, just so you know, Wednesday, Thursday-ish, I'd be concerned.
When I grew up, I was told honesty is the best policy.
It is the best policy. If you're asking me,
you want me to lie?
My level of concern for Jordan, if I can equate it to the scoreboard, I'd say we're down only 1-0. If it's a soccer game, we're down only 1-0. But we're playing okay, so that's where my level of concern is. There's still a lot of time left in the game. We conceded the early goal, but there's still a lot of time to get back on even footing.
A lot of time for somebody to pull a freeze.
Or it could get worse. Probably, I would say, midway tomorrow is when I could probably give you more of an informed opinion about, is this going off the rails or not?
Well, that's when it usually hits you. Wednesday, I think, because typically, when people are in for a week, Monday, a lot of times people come in and they say, oh, you know what? This is not so bad. I could do this. Tuesday, it hits you. Yeah. And now you're like, oh, because you got to turn around for the first time on short rest.
So much so, right, RJ? So much so that, when you get for now, because, I have a timeshare for the summer. So I'm here. I would say what, RJ? Wednesday or Thursday when you come in, one of the first things you say to the other person is, boy, I feel like garbage.
I think I'm going to die.
Yeah, I think I'm going to die.
This is it.
Yeah. It's like Wednesday or Thursday before, a meteor could crash down, on 7th Avenue or something like that. And that wouldn't even be the first topic of conversation in the morning. It would be, boy, I feel terrible.
But I've done this before. This isn't the first time. I've done some weeks before.
But you haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, and we don't usually get this on Tuesdays.
2009 beat number 1 Spain. But we're talking 8 years ago.
With such confidence. Such confidence.
When you just
not even close.
When you just replayed that, I almost kind of got antsy for a bit. I was like, is it really 2017 again? It's almost like we went back in a time machine.
So, you know what my problem is, though? This is the biggest problem.
You'd probably
I'm
take
somebody
it right
who I'm somebody who, I'll be younger for sure. I'm someone who stays up pretty late.
You're a night owl.
Doesn't fall asleep easily.
Yeah. So it creates a problem. Last night, I would have loved to just 10 o'clock, 10:15, pass out. Didn't happen. I'm staying up till 12, 12:15. Then you got to set the alarm for 4. I'm waking up at 3:30 anyway because I'm worried about missing the alarm.
Got that angry adrenaline going.
Yeah, I did. I think that was why I couldn't fall asleep last night. I was so disgusted by that effort.
Well, whether you're disgusted about a game or whether you're just jolted because it was such an exciting game, right? Doing this shift, it's impossible to then just go right to sleep after one of these games.
I didn't think you were going with shift right there, by the way.
Oh, no.
I didn't.
We're going with shift. Yeah.
I thought it was
shift, show. They all start with SH.
Hey.
And you can go with another one, too. Right? But, you guys, it's Ray, think about the run during the NBA Finals. Game 4, after that night, did you get any sleep whatsoever?
No, I did not sleep at all, but it was a totally different context on that one. It was a unbridled joy, what we saw transpire, A, and B, the realization the Knicks are going to win the NBA title.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And I can't remember if you were here when I told the story, but me, Monica, and Tyler, we didn't want to leave the Garden.
You told me, yeah.
We did not want to leave the building. It's a totally different level of adrenaline we're talking about. Jordan couldn't fall asleep because he was angry over what had happened, and I feel that anger because I've had many instances where I've watched a game late at night. It's a disgusting, disheartening outcome, and I just can't bring myself to go to sleep. What happened on Game 4 is the opposite end of the spectrum. I don't want to go to sleep as tired as I am.
Yeah, with this shift, especially if your team plays on Sunday Night Football, and
which your team does a lot,
and it's easy to bounce up Monday morning. It's like, I slept for 11 minutes, but we won 42-6. And you feel great.
But again, if you're on the opposite end of that spectrum on Sunday Night Football, and I just gave him the example when the Cowboys played the Niners a couple of years ago, and I think they were going into that game 5-0 or 5-1. It's like, okay, well, we could compete with them. And the 49ers just smashed. They just completely smashed them. And I couldn't fall asleep. I was so disgusted and distraught by what I had seen. Well, that would be a more comparable situation.
I assume the result, the end result, though, is you're good. You have the adrenaline the first day, and the next day is when the crash comes.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Well, and the hard part here is we're just not we're all really close, good buddies, not particularly nice to each other. Mm-hmm. So too, if your team that is not a team that we all agree on, which is only the Knicks, you're gonna catch hell for it.
Yeah.
So now, not only did you sleep for an hour and a half, now you're just gonna get ripped for the next 4 hours.
Ray, I apologize before. A couple of minutes ago, I went to you right as you were mid putting a contact lens in. I didn't mean to do that.
No,
See, that's how he's a professional.
I was done. We were good.
Oh, you were good? So it was like a seamless insertion is what you're saying.
I was going to say I could do this with my eyes closed, but that's actually impossible.
No, you can't do that.
but to the point where I can just do it on the fly.
You know what? There are people probably that can do it. There's probably a way.
If there's a way, let me know.
Braille?
I don't know.
Putting in a contact lens?
I am basically blind back here. I'm basically blind back here.
I thought he meant doing his job without being able to say.
Oh, no. He meant putting on a contact lens.
No, putting the contact lenses on.
Because he was it in. He was doing like this. I noticed he was just doing that, but I already had the sentence practically all the way out of my mouth.
You were fine. I was ready to go.
But sometimes it's not like a seamless job, and then you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I got to take it out.
So the other side of this, going to bed late and waking up early type of thing is I try to limit how often I have the contacts in.
You shouldn't wear them a lot.
You notice half the show I'll have my glasses on, and then at some point you'll just come back and he doesn't have his glasses on anymore.
Well, what you got to do is, or at least what I do, as soon as you go home, if you're going to commit to the nap, contact lenses come out, and then you go. So you can't sleep with them in.
Correct.
That's horrible for you. But you're right. And what do they say? You should only wear them maybe 8-9 hours a day. Supposedly, if all is
I violate that daily.
Yeah,
though, unfortunately.
I shoot past it too. I mean, we have to.
I don't know how it works. All I know is my wife wears the disposable contacts, and they are all over the house.
But those are the best ones, though.
They're everywhere.
There
was one on the kitchen table yesterday.
You don't have eye issues?
I mean, I'm there because I'm old.
Yeah, but you never needed glasses or anything like that for distance. Really?
I'm gonna need them. I mean, I'm
good for you though. Seriously, if you've avoided it up until now,
I'm fighting as hard as I can.
That's really good.
No cavities, perfect vision, no glasses.
No cavities.
Yeah.
So no cavities, no glasses for Jordan.
Yeah, jeans are strong.
Nice.
Jeans are strong.
That is
strong.
Awesome.
Me, strong like bull.
But the subtraction is a little iffy though.
Math.
I'm
actually good at math. That's why it's such a. I don't know what was going through my mind.
RJ, you think we could have some math questions in the Cuddle Mary trash somehow? Like the way they used to do the SATs, it was still all multiple choice, remember?
7-10 in math on the SATs.
You'll still get 400 points for signing your name. It's fine.
I'd be a little concerned to put math in there at this point. I don't want to set anyone up for failure.
We'll do a math quiz later in the week.
I got into this because I was told there would be no math.
2009 beat number 1 Spain. But we're talking 8 years ago. Yeah, I'm not going to live that one down.
I could have been a bad guy
I can already tell you what's going to lead 3 stars at this point, unless something other comes along.
You know what? And it's not even 8 o'clock yet, and you already clinched 3 stars. It's going to take a lot to top that one.
Let's go, baby.
It's going to take a lot to top that one. You know what? RJ,
See? I'm giving you content.
Already.
That's what I'm doing. Content.
I am in the mood to get this thing going here. I can't wait to see what you have in store. How about a little CMT?
To cuddle. I'm servicing 3 times as many people as he's able to get to.
To marry. Not everyone can afford to take off work and pay whatever it costs to get a foursome.
Or to trash.
Let the wild rumpus begin.
That.
Want a meat stick?
Is the question.
Oh, alrighty. So somebody tweeted at me.
Yeah.
Because we were talking last week about crutches, about people that start. Rick starts
Here's the thing.
His reads with, here's the thing. I typically start with,
Here we go, fellas.
Alrighty. And I want to tell that person, I think you're right. But I don't know if I'm going to change it.
I hate when you become conscious of something like that and you want to change it and you think you're doing well and then you just revert.
I may just leave it, but that's clearly mine.
By the way, you didn't bring the T-shirt today? The Why Bregman not back?
Again, no sleep, not thinking about that thing. I'll get you tomorrow.
I'll text you later.
I don't know what happened, but why Bregman not back?
Yeah, I'll text you later this afternoon.
One of the age-old questions. Still wondering.
What happened? I don't know what happened, but why Bregman not back?
What would have happened?
I can't believe that was real. Oh, boy. Love it.
So we've already broken this down a few different ways, but I want to get on the record here. Cuddle, Mary, Trash, how you would classify this World Cup for the United States.
Oh, boy. There's some words I could think of.
Would it be a failure? Would it be a disappointment? Or was it status quo? Did you expect us to get right where we did? Dan, you can start.
I'm going to trash status quo. Enough of this. You know what I mean? Like, we had it on our home soil. Like, enough with just running it back. So, no, the heck with the status quo. Disappointment or failure? I will say the World Cup, because you asked the question, the World Cup, not the game last night, right? The whole tournament.
Yeah, I'm more so like retrospective. I know it's tough to do today, but going in, like, what did you expect from this team?
I'm going to marry that it was Uh-oh. That was later in the show.
That's later on.
I'm going to marry the stuff you missed. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to marry it being a disappointment. Like you said, if I allow myself to take a step back, maybe assess things tomorrow or the next week, it was a disappointment that we didn't advance further than the round of 16, which is what the goal is always now for this program. And I will cuddle the failure aspect because that last game is still going to leave a taste in your look. When you say the 2026 World Cup with the United States men's national team, the game that's going to stand out more than any other is the one last night. For good, bad, or indifferent, right? You're not going to think about Paraguay. Might as well have happened in another decade. You know, who cares about the Australia game? And, you know, the last two, they just kind of like blend in. That's the one you're going to remember last night. So I'm going to cuddle the failure.
Yeah, I'm not as much on the failure thing because I think failure would have been not making it out of the group stage. I know we had an easy group, but still, this is the World Cup. Paraguay obviously proved to be a decent team. You know, if they played the game they played yesterday, they would have lost to Paraguay. They would have lost to Turkey, and they would have lost to Australia. So, to me, I'm trashing failure because I don't think this is a complete failure. Cuddling status quo because it's not great, but the reality is this is what we are, right? We're a round of 16 team. That's what this team is. We won the one knockout stage game against Bosnia-Herzegovina because they added an extra round. So we're really back to right where we kind of always are. Now, maybe at home you kind of expect it a little bit more because there's a huge advantage to playing the tournament at home, and it's supposed to be a better team, and I think we are at least more skilled and talented for the most part. But still, cuddle status quo. And I'm marrying disappointment because the way it ended, like you said, that's the defining moment of the U.S. 2026 World Cup run. Getting spanked, absolutely spanked in front of the entire nation, the entire world, and even worse, the way it went down. We're a joke. It's a joke. The other countries are watching Matt Freese and that play. And the debacle, and then Tim Ream, by the way, the ball was like basically right at him, and he it's like when you trip over your own feet and you you're getting entangled with yourself. Whoa.
The first goal too set such a bad precedent. You know what I mean? Like 3 guys watching the ball, nobody went for it.
Yeah, but that wasn't a joke.
No, it wasn't a joke, but it was a precursor of what was going to come for the rest of the night.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the rest of the world. The rest of the world saw that Matt Freese play, and they're like, America, this is what they are in soccer.
That was for lack of a better term, that was like the butt fumble. right? I mean, like the soccer equivalent of the butt fumble.
Yeah, that's a good comp right there. There you go. See? You're good.
So, also, like we were talking about during the break, out of the teams that made the round of 16 that lost, in addition to the United States, and I know that there's still 2 more games today, but out of the teams that lost, would you say the only ones that we could technically beat or better than Paraguay, who we've beaten, and Canada? That's it? That's the only ones that are on our level?
Yeah, definitively, I would say.
Right? So where are we?
With confidence.
Senegal obviously played better, but I mean, I don't know.
Senegal didn't make it to the round of 16. I'm talking about the round of 16.
Yeah, if you're asking with confidence,
that's right.
Yeah. I mean,
today is Argentina, Egypt. We're not Argentina. Probably not even on the Egypt level. And then Switzerland, Colombia are 2 really good teams.
See, but the tough part is, Canada just won their first knockout match ever. And it's only because they created an extra round.
Correct.
Like, that's where we're at.
Right. And you can say the same thing about it wasn't our first ever, but just the win we had against Bosnia was because they created expansion.
We're in the Mexico range. That's our bracket. For better or worse.
Yeah,
that's where we are.
Yes, but the way that historically, yes, but the way that Mexico went out versus England, I mean, they went out much more on their sword than we did.
Yeah,
and they were home too.
But they played a tough game and were really fighting hard, and so it makes you feel better about it. But I think in the end,
they fought back. I mean, Jude Bellingham scores those goals. And they fought back. They came right back, took counter punch, and they ended up losing. But yeah, not great. Alrighty. So Dan mentioned this a couple of times. Jordan, we'll start with you here. It's on to baseball.
Oh boy,
it's on to baseball.
Yippee.
So these Yankees, as we reassess here where we're at, what concerns you most with this team? Would it be the offense, and you have to consider injuries, like how long you're going to be without Aaron Judge, which Buster said yesterday here on this show that he'd be surprised if he was back by mid-August, which is not great. Doesn't make me feel pretty good. And Giancarlo Stanton still working off that setback he had, among others. Would it be the defense, or would it be the bullpen?
So I'm going to trash defense, and I know that sounds ridiculous because their defense has been terrible lately. But overall, I think if we look at them individually, it's not a terrible defensive team. They're just in kind of a defensive funk, which actually bothers me more. It's almost more that they've mentally just kind of tanked and like they haven't been able to turn around, and it's kind of spiraled in the wrong direction. That part of it almost bothers me more than the actual defense. The fact that that's continued to be a problem. So, but I'm still going to trash that just because I think overall they could be okay. Bullpen, I'm going to cuddle because it is a problem. They don't have enough bullpen arms, but I'm not going to trash it because they do have some excess starters who you would hope at some point Will Warren, Luis Heel, some of these guys in some way, shape, or form can help out the bullpen.
Form.
Yeah, form, same thing.
It's like he just chastised himself. Farm.
Self-correction.
I mean, I can't even believe what's coming out of my mouth today.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to hit Wawa bright and early again tomorrow morning. That's what I think he needs.
We will self-correct.
Yeah.
You learn. It's called self-evaluation, and you got to make the changes. That's
pre-order the coffee.
That's what makes the great ones, guys. You have to realize your own faults. Okay, and obviously, if you listened to me yesterday, you got to marry the offense, being the biggest concern. Their offense is. By the way, the Yankees, great win yesterday. Little stabilizer, but it was Cam Schlittler, right? Jose Caballero, a couple big hits. The reality is, when the Yankees had no hits through 4. Went walk, home run. Scored 5 runs in the game. Still, how many hits did they have, Dan?
With 3?
3.
Not many. Yeah.
3.
All home runs.
3. So to think, all of a sudden, they're back. They're going to be fine. You're fooling yourself again if you think that's the case. The offense, the lineup as it's currently comprised, is a big problem. And if you have confidence that Giancarlo Stanton's coming back and anytime soon is going to be healthy, I need what you're smoking. And if you think you feel good about Aaron Judge coming back soon after hearing what Buster said, again, come over here. I need some of that because I am worried's not even the word I have for the offense right now.
So you married the offense, and what did you
trashed the defense and cuddled the bullpen.
I'm going to trash the defense as well, even though it's not something that you're proud of because, I mean, this has been a culprit for them for several years, right? I mean, this isn't just like a 2026 thing. This has just been a problem, you know, and unfortunately, like the Mets have taken a page here. David Stearns has taken a page out of the Brian Cashman book. It's like it doesn't matter about certain positions. We'll just put somebody here. It doesn't matter. And you see the results that the Mets have shown defensively, same thing. I'm a little bit more optimistic than you are. We talked about it yesterday. That eventually, 99 will be okay. He'll be okay for when it matters the most. And I'm confident that they're going to go out there and bring in another bat, preferably on the right-handed side, before August the 3rd with the deadline. So I'll cuddle the offense. Aww. And I'm still going to go back to the bullpen and marry that as the biggest culprit because before all these injuries started, offensively, you looked at this Yankee team, even when things were well, even when they had the best record in the American League, the bullpen was still a sore subject. So I haven't moved off of that. Marry the bullpen, cuddle the offense, trash the defense for me.
I like it. You guys are doing well.
Hey, RJ, do you know that you're listening to DiPietro and Rothenberg on WHSQ, WCBS FM, HD2 New York?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I usually hear it right around this time every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed a reminder legally.
That's confirmation right there.
Confirmation situation.
That's it, baby.
All righty. So there's a Giants insider expert sitting among us, and I feel I'd be remiss if I didn't.
Well, who is it?
Where?
Wow. If I didn't touch on that team. So on this platform, on this show, we have a man named Dave Rothenberg who is as excited as I've ever seen him in the time we've known each other.
Dark. Jackson, dark.
So I did not know him when the Giants won their most recent Super Bowl. And for me, this is the most excited I've ever seen him going into a season.
Was he working here when they won that Super Bowl?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He told us last week how he wanted to celebrate. Because,
that's right. Yeah.
And he went in. What did he say? He went into the streets near Madison Square Garden, where our old studio was, and was looking for someone to hug. And he was taken aback when nobody wanted to hug him.
Or the person that did want to hug him had hepatitis, I think it turned out.
Oh, my goodness.
Penn Station. But nevertheless.
Hey, beggars can't be choosers.
They're going to make him do that.
Literally.
They're going to make him do the watch party for a Giants game.
Couchcast is on the table.
There's a lot of back and forth being had
Yeah,
about
you didn't
that.
hear about it for 2 days straight?
There's a lot of back and forth.
I heard the original conversation, and I heard the original pushback.
It's going to be like a zoo animal.
Yeah, so
it's fantastic.
the Cliff Notes version of it is Dave continues to push back, but I think John intends to force him to.
It's a chance for the public to get a chance to view the wild Rothenberg in his natural habitat. You could see the American football greatly disturbs him.
So
it's going to be a treat.
What would you advise if you were to give a reason that Dave should maybe scale back just a tad on his excitement? Because what concerns you the most?
Okay.
Going into the season. Would it be the health of Malik Neighbors? Would it be being too reliant on Jackson Dart to take too big of a step in year 2? Or would it be the defense just not being improved the way that we hoped? I saw an article on ESPN.com yesterday ranking the best rosters in the NFL from top to bottom, or your starters, I should say, the best starters in the best rosters by starting 11 on each side. And the Giants ranked 23rd, and the biggest weaknesses were on the defense, namely the defensive tackle. So I give you those 3 options.
Yeah, the biggest strength was also the edge rushers, though. So
yes,
yeah.
Neighbors, too reliant on Jackson Dart to take too big of a step, or the defense.
So this is rank them based upon what would give you concern.
The most concern.
What's the biggest concern? Yeah, that's how I'm interpreting this.
Yep.
Am I first?
Sure.
You can go first. You're Mr. Giants.
I think you should go first now.
Yeah, but you're Mr. Giants. Go ahead.
Okay.
It means more.
Okay. This is a tough one. You did a good job on this one.
It's a very
RJ.
good one. It's a
You know
very
what?
good one.
Because they are all legitimate concerns.
You know where I get these from? Consuming your work.
There you go.
These are your biggest concerns, I feel like.
I drop the hints and you take them. You catch them.
I don't know if the Jackson Dart thing would include jumping off the boat 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, I got attacked in
I mean,
for that.
You did?
No, by Jordan. Because remember I said...
Oh, that's right.
Well, not necessarily
that had
jumping off
nothing
the
to do
ship.
with the boat.
It was the playbook stuff.
Well, because there was... Yeah, in transparency.
Let's peel back the curtain.
Not from...
Oh, that's right. That was a text
You
attack,
turned
wasn't
it into Jackson Dart's picking up the offense slowly.
Listen, I didn't know.
That coffee's kicking in, I could see.
I didn't know
That
that you had an element of the big time in you.
Yeah,
but
basically
you kind of big timed RJ on that one.
Oh, big time. Those were some fighting words.
Well, because it
I'm
was
like,
not...
wow, it's a Sunday.
Well, it's one of those things where you say something and then you're twisting somebody's words into something it's not.
Well, it wasn't your reporting, but there... And I went back to... I was telling Dan, because I didn't bring it up yesterday because I wanted to make you upset. But
you don't have to worry about making me upset, by the way. That's nothing you really ever have to worry about. I promise you on that one.
Again, not from you. Plenty of reporting out there.
Yes.
That Jackson Dart in the spring, and I know it's a quick turnover to another coaching staff, and it's a new offense, and he's only his second year, his first full offseason with the Giants. But it did look great, according to those that would know more than me. Again, not your reporting, but I merely brought that up. Say, this is not a great look for a guy, whether it's fair or not. There was some reporting out there that did not look great in the limited availability the media's had to him running, again, with no pads, offense, and haven't heard from you in a while, and then you make sure to get you jumping off a yacht on video and on social media.
So I was going to probably leaning to this direction anyway. I'm going to trash the Jackson Dart too reliant on Jackson Dart and the growth. Okay? Not that I am not concerned about that a little bit, just because and that was the whole point of my getting... fighting back on the narrative that you turned into, he's picking up the offense slowly. I think it's more, and I only go off my reporting. I don't know what anyone else is saying out there. I think people just sort of gloss over and forget the idea that, hey, it is basically going back and relearning a new offense, right? This is a totally new offense. So it is, in a way, starting over. And people automatically just are like, Jackson Dart's going to make that year 2 jump, not even taking into consideration, hey, by the way, he's starting over and learning a new offense again. So I think there's a baseline with Jackson Dart that already exists where he's an average quality quarterback and you can win games with him and he can run the football. So I'm not overly concerned about Jackson Dart. Like, that's more of a long-term thing, right, Jackson Dart? Okay, right, can he develop into a top 5 or 10 quarterback? That'll determine whether, you can win a championship or really compete for a Super Bowl. Not if you could have a good season. Like, you're going to win games with Jackson Dart as long as he plays 17 games. He can run around. He can throw the ball. He can make plays. I think that's more of whether he's ultimately going to turn into, the 100%
like an all-pro
franchise,
quarterback.
all-pro, top 5 quarterback that you're going to be competing for a Super Bowl every single year.
Well,
so that's why I'm trashing that part of it.
Which is fair.
So you're saying Jackson Dart, he'll be U.S. soccer guaranteed, but you don't know if he's ever going to become France or Spain, basically
exactly.
on that.
Look at you. You're
nice.
really in soccer mode.
Well,
You're
I was
going
having
soccer now.
Well, I was having this conversation with someone the other day because I think what we term, and hold your place, I know we got to finish your question, what the term franchise quarterback means anymore. Because I think it kind of used to be maybe, 15, 20 years ago. Like, this is going to be your guy. He's your starter for the next decade, and he's an upper third-ish quarterback in the league. I feel like now, if I told you took a quarterback in the first round, this is your franchise quarterback, and for the next decade, he's going to be somewhere between the 8th and 14th best quarterback in the league. I feel like that's a disappointment to many people.
That's a scary place to be because what it means is you're really stuck in the middle of nowhere because you're probably not going to win.
Well, because you have to build the rest of the roster. You become reliant on the rest of the roster instead of just one person.
You don't want to be like Kirk Cousins or I don't know who else is in that range. Like
middle of the pack quarterback?
Yeah, that's like good enough, but not really good. Baker Mayfield is like the high end. Baker Mayfield's like the higher end of that, but like you're probably not going to win a Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield unless you have a perfect team around him.
Well, you say that. I mean, Sam Darnold just did it.
That's what I mean, but it's got to be a perfect situation.
Got to be a perfect situation.
It's hard to be in that situation with that guy because then you got to build the perfect team around him. And what if that
Jared Goff?
And if you're the thing with thing with Sam Darnold is and Jared Goff, when he did it, you weren't paying them the $50 million.
Correct.
$60 million.
But
Sam Darnold was you're paying the 30. Like it's a different situation.
Sure.
You know that's the key.
Anyways, continue.
Right. Anyway, defense, I'm gonna cuddle. It's definitely a concern. The back end, I'm worried about. Can they stop the run? God forbid Tremaine Edmonds actually regressed last year, like he played at the end of the year. That team is in big trouble stopping the run. They better hope that signing pans out well. So the defense is definitely very concerning to me. No Dexter Lawrence. He wasn't great last year, but the defensive interior, what do they have in there? Right. That's a huge concern. And I got to marry the Malik Neighbors concern. We don't know when he's going to come back. I do think it's a coin flip for week 1. Like that's where I'm at right now, but the Giants have their fingers crossed. If it takes longer, who knows? Then you're into the season when Malik Neighbors comes back. I'm then concerned, how quickly can he return even when he gets back to his previous form, right? That could take half a season. Who knows, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever it is. So, and if you don't have Malik Neighbors, who else on the offense, weapons-wise, scares you?
A lot of Isaiah Likely.
Well, it scares me that this is the narrative. Not even the narrative. This is the truth behind it. When did he tear his ACL? Week 4?
Early. Yeah. That's part of the concern. Is like we're sitting here and he's a coin flip for week 1 when he tore it in week 4 against the Chargers.
Yeah.
Cam Scadaboo's ankle or leg was basically facing. Was facing in the wrong direction, and he's coming back significantly quicker than Malik Neighbors.
And that was mid-October, late October with Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah.
I saw him doing backflips.
And he's doing backflips. He practiced in the spring. So, yeah, Malik Neighbors is a legit concern. Nobody really knows when he's coming back. There's optimism that he'll be back and fairly early. But then my next concern is, well, when can he return to being the number 1 receiver? Because the Giants don't have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Right.
Like, they're praying. They bet a lot on Isaiah Likely being a high-end player. But even then, he hasn't been in his career. Like he hasn't even top 500 yards receiving yet.
And a lot of that is tied into the development of the quarterback, too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like in terms of bringing out the best football in him, he needs his go-to guy. You know, you throw a jump ball, he's going to be able to get it for you.
Life's a lot harder for Jackson Dart if he doesn't have Malik Neighbors.
Totally.
Significantly.
So you married Neighbors, cuddled the defense, trash Dart?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll go slight change. I'm going to agree with you on trashing the Dart thing. I'm not concerned. I think he's shown enough to where he's exhibited enough of it to, even though he's trying to learn a new scheme here and there are some other challenges they're dealing with, they've done a nice job with that offensive line. That'll be a nice foundation for him, I think. And he'll eventually be able to put this thing together. I don't know if he's going to be top 10 in the league, but he doesn't have to be this year. You know what I'm saying? But I think he's more than capable for at least putting a winning product on the field. I'll cuddle the Malik Neighbors situation. And maybe this is me just being more glass half full in that situation. Everything you said is spot on, though, about, hey, he's not practicing yet. We don't have any definitive word. I just have to believe that at some point, and I say some point, in the first 6 weeks of the season, he'll be on the field. And he'll be back to normal. Whatever normal you want to set as. But I'll cuddle that. And upon further review and really thinking about it, I'm going to marry the defense. I understand Dexter Lawrence didn't want to be here. They got the picks. He wanted money and okay, move on. Coming off of a not so great season. They are a little thin up front. They got a bunch of lunch pill guys to fill his spot. Some veterans, journeymen, if you will. We know that they're strong on the edge. We know that they're strong at linebacker. If Arvell Reese pops like they hope. I never really loved the secondary, though. And I don't think they made enough tweaks there. So, plus a new coordinator. I'll marry the defense, believe it or not, when it comes to my biggest concern with the Giants.
One question just for Jordan before we move on, because so we talk about this a lot with Dave, his expectations. Jordan, real quick before we get to our last question. Mm-hmm. Your expectations win total-wise for the Giants?
Yeah, somewhere mid-range, 500-ish contention.
Okay. That's what Dave says.
I think I'd probably be at 7 right now.
Okay, so Dave says...
Dave is probably 8, 9.
8, and I can tell he's going to push himself to 9.
Right, like by the time training camp's done and hyping up.
If you asked him for an exact number, I would say. Ray, what do you think?
I think that 7 to 9 range is fair.
Yeah, that's about right. I think you should be satisfied 7 to 8 and go from there.
I know some fans are like jumping to I get it all the time. Hey, we're going to win like 10 or 12, and I'm like, dude, they won 7 games in the last 2 years combined. Like that's a significant jump to be like, hey, we're going to win double digits this year. Like,
you got to be careful because, like, at the end of the day, like, listen, there's still 2, maybe 3 teams in the division that are better than you.
I think the division's going to be, by the way, really good. Like,
yes,
agree.
I'm a fan of some of the Commanders' moves this offseason, and obviously Jaden Daniels coming back. We can't forget how good he was 2 years ago.
Right, you just got to stay healthy.
I'm a big fan of the Cowboys. I know Ray doesn't want to hear it. I think I picked them to win the division recently. It's going to run soon.
I think Ray is. I don't know if he'll go that far, but Ray
is probably as high as I've been on them coming into the season for a long time.
Now, I don't know if their secondary can hold up. That is going to be the concern, but their defensive front could be really good.
A little concerned about the corners, but not nearly as much as last year when everybody was hurt.
Right.
And they're finally paying attention to the safety and defensive tackle position. Oh, yes, those exist. You know?
But we know that that's a good offense, so they're a scary team. And then obviously we know the Eagles are still super talented.
Yeah, Dave doesn't like to hear it, but I just need the defense to be decent. I don't need them to be all world. My offense could score 30 any given week.
Right. You're going to score
points.
That's
the point. Yeah, just give me competency.
And
with Christian Parker, just be okay.
The Eagles have a new confidant in Rick DiPietro.
That's true.
Oh, that's right.
Buddy with the head coach.
That didn't go over well, huh?
No. Well, depends who you ask, but no, definitely not with Dave.
So I need to. You know what? I don't think I got an answer to. Does he have Nick Sirianni's number?
I'm not sure.
Are we at a texting relationship now?
I'm not sure they reached that point.
Well, how do you feel about that in that situation? If you have the acquaintance, like in an offhand place like that, and you strike up a conversation, oh yeah, I know you. Oh yeah, I know you. Do you exchange numbers? Like, or do you think that it's off-putting to?
He was probably intimidated by the size of the guy. Did you see how
Sirianni's
he towers over?
He was a wide receiver.
Did he see Rick's biceps though?
I don't know, man. He looked like he give Rick a run for his money there. And I know we posted
he's huge.
I know we posted.
Huge,
I know we posted the beach bash pictures on IG.
Did you see
and
this?
Yeah. How jacked
Did you
Rick
see
is.
Rick's arms?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a monster.
But like Sirianni is a large dude.
Yeah, he is tall.
He was a wideout.
See, but Rick, you asked, does that kind of happen? But we have to understand, Rick orbits in a different level than we do. He's a former professional athlete,
right?
So it's like a different in than you're just straight media,
right?
So I do think that could be a conversation that hey, let's keep in touch. Oh yeah, here's my number.
Well, I mean, listen, Dave had Daboll's information last year, and he never used it. Never ever used it. So the precedent has been set here.
Alrighty.
Like, where do you draw that line? You know what I mean?
And
I think if you feel comfortable enough, he asked the question.
Yeah, but I think you could make it like a joking relationship between you and him.
Right.
I'm talking Rick and Sirianni.
And finally, Dan will come back to you here for some guidance. So you've been here and worked the show enough to be here for some of the troubling moments. Like this earlier from Jordan.
2009 beat number 1 Spain. So, but we're talking 8 years ago.
Okay. So we're going to take that and
still trying to figure out
and
how
compare to what I believe are respectively the most troubling moments for our friends Dave and Rick. And Dan, I need you to tell me which of them.
Real quick, what's interesting about that though? Because he said 8 years, right? Yep. 2009. I could see like if
2026.
Right. So it's 17 years. I could see if he went 7.
Exactly.
That's what I mean? But instead he goes 8.
I thought that too.
I was scrolling on my computer screen. It must have been like something that I was looking at, like that I came up with that.
Your algorithm? What are you looking at? It's like Rick's. Have you ever seen Rick shares a bunch of like really
his Instagram algorithm?
Yeah, it's definitely messed with my algorithm. Definitely has.
Probably coming on the show because your phone listens to you probably ruins my algorithm. It actually might straighten it out.
It did something like that. No, it did something like that the other day because Rick mentioned something on the. I can't even remember what it was. He mentioned something on the air, and then like 2 hours later, I scrolled on Instagram and I found that exact thing without looking for it.
It really did. It really did fix my algorithm because usually I would probably not be able to show it, but it has all soccer now.
All soccer
because we've been talking about soccer all morning. So
hey, this is a soccer show. Let's face it.
There you go.
Whether you want to acknowledge it or not. It's a soccer
That's
show.
why I come here. Fix my algorithm.
That's it.
Yeah,
Clean the palate.
You guys are algorithm fixers.
I get a sense, Jordan, a little bit of a sketchy past. I think Jordan's done some things.
Uh-oh.
Not like heinous crimes. I just think with the way he made a reference earlier, it's like, college Jordan wasn't focused on that. Now he's talking about when you come to our show to fix your algorithm. I mean, what are you really involved in?
Exactly.
So that was Exhibit A.
2009 beat number one. No
Spain.
comment. So, but we're talking 8 years ago.
Okay, so that's one. Most troubling. Here's two.
What happened? I don't know what happened. But why Bregman not back?
And three.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. He's got his Masters prediction. Rick is. And then, of course, we'll continue to update you on the Mets and the Yankees, both having today off. It's DNR with you, 880 ESPN.
I don't know how you don't marry that.
Can I?
Honestly, I don't know how you don't marry that. That's just.
Can I go back to the Dave
amazing.
one? Like, we haven't spent it. Like, we dissected the Rick one last week from now till Kingdom Come. The why Bregman not back. The thing that's great with the Dave, and what I think is, and next time I talk to him, I got to ask him, the pregnant pauses at the last half of the tease.
He realizes it's getting away from him.
Right. He realizes it's getting away from him, but that just adds extra
oomph
to it.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. He's got his Masters prediction.
Yep.
Rick is.
That was weird.
And then, of course, we'll continue to update you on the Mets and the Yankees, both having today off. It's DNR with you, 880 ESPN.
You would think
he commits to it.
You would think the Mets are getting ready to play Game 7 of the World Series. We'll update you on the Mets, the Yankees. Just like the start of with the Mets. Like, you're thinking, oh, my gosh, this Mets game has got to be huge. And then he goes, and then the Yankees. Like, wow, so the Yankees also have a big game today as well. And then the next line is, they both have the day off.
Well, did you guys mention this when you came back from the break? Did he just ignore it?
He thought he slipped it right in without anyone noticing.
Yeah, so how long did that take?
Oh, immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah. So, he didn't know we caught it because, again, we're a little evil here. We held it until we got back, and then I think we fed it through Rick to bring it back. But sometimes you just go into a cadence, and we've played this as a comparison before. Like Don when he did this.
Don and Peter with you until 7, and then we were going to have the great Brewers-Pirates game coming up at 7 o'clock.
Did we ever go back and see what happened with the Brewers-Pirates game? Did anything memorable?
It went 32 innings.
All righty. So we have Jordan's math. We have why Bregman not back, and we have Dave's tease to nowhere. Most troubling.
This is me or you?
No, it's just you.
Oh.
Jordan's involved.
I'm going to actually I'm going to trash the you can't do basic subtraction. Like, it happened. It's early in the morning. Wow, the other two are classics. Absolute classics. The Dave tease is actually making like a late charge. It really and truly is, because I almost have a newfound appreciation for it.
Update from John, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no way.
Go ahed.
We have Brewers Pirates this Saturday on 10:50.
Hey, 2 days left before the All-Star break. What better than Brewers Pirates?
But by the way, though, if it's like Jacob Mizrowski against Paul Skeens,
stand by.
Don and Peter with you.
I'm pretty sure it's
until
not going to
7,
be that.
and then we were going to have the great Brewers-Pirates game coming up at 7 o'clock.
Shane Mizrowan against Bubba Chandler. So
I was going to say, I know Mizrowski. He's not actually pitching in the All-Star game because of his schedule. So I thought maybe it was possible he was pitching in that game.
Yeah, it's not a Skeens-Mizrowski vehicle, unfortunately. So you don't get that. All right, so I'm trashing Spain. Because you mentioned the Spain thing with the United States. Just because I have this deep affinity for it, and a T-shirt has already been manufactured, I got to marry why Bregman not back I gotta. There's just so many, even though it's like short and sweet, there's so much still to dissect with that. And I'm going to cuddle the tease of both teams being off, even though that's, if I could have like a co-marriage situation, like if I was a polygamist, it would be both of those. But if I have to give it to one, marry Bregman and I'll cuddle the tease.
No, and that concludes a rousing edition of Cuddle My
Well, did
Crush.
Jordan give his?
Well, he's too involved. He's too close to it because.
That's right.
What happens in these situations? He's just going to push, which you helped him out. He's just going to push the narrative of the other ones to lighten the burden.
No, actually, I thought I was doing it. I would have put my mathing in the cuddle. I don't fully understand the Rick one, so I would have trashed it.
Really?
The why Bregman.
What happened? I don't know what happened. But why Bregman not back?
What's not to understand?
It's a mental breakdown of a human being in real time.
It's not that bad.
Well. Here's the no. It
just comes off weird.
It is.
I did show Rick the shirt, by the way. And he just put his head in his hands.
That the why Bregman not back, did that come in the same interview on the same day with the 51-second question?
I think it was shortly after.
I think it was a different day. Yeah.
Different. Okay.
He had a stretch where I love Rick. It wasn't great.
Yeah. It was tough.
And to me, the Dave one is the one I would marry. I mean, that's just so funny. Just just when those words are strung together, it's hilarious.
We've got the Mets, the Yankees, and both not playing today. It's just so good. Look, it gets everybody. We've all had doozies. Lord knows. I had one in the first 15 minutes of the show that will never see the light of day, thankfully.
And the reality is you're doing a bunch of things. He's probably reading the tease for the next segment. And at the same time, looking at a screen or doing something else, and something else goes through your head, and words just, vomit out of your mouth sometimes.
If it's Dave, there's a better than 90% chance that he's reading his phone or an email or something like that, because that's what he does for about 90% of the time anyways. Even when he's like on the air, he's looking at his phone, reading emails, reading this. Yeah.
I've worked with him. He doesn't listen to you. I get it.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. You could say something, and then you get dead air, and you get...
Well, he admits it. He's like, oh,
no,
sorry.
I know.
I tuned you out.
Yeah.
He's fine with that.
There's times I have to snap at him to get him back in, and I'll say something that's like, pay attention, like that, but it's all, it comes from a place of love.
No, it doesn't.
RJ, good job. That was an excellent CMT.
That was fun. Thank you.
Tremendous. When we come back, I know that we've talked about it, and we don't have to tease both teams being off. Both teams are playing today, but both teams actually won last night. We'll talk a little baseball, plus your calls at 800-919-3776. GNR for DNR, ESPN New York. 8:27 on this Tuesday morning. Has it stopped raining yet, finally? But let's get a check of the roads and say hi to Debbie Duhane.
GNR, good morning. Alternate side parking rules in effect. Watch for delays on the Uptown D, N, and R trains with a switching problem. 42nd Street closed here in town between 2nd and 3rd with police department activity. Things are heating up on the FDR Drive north at Grand Street. It's a car fire. One lane blocked. Eastbound BQE at the Willie B, a collision. And the Cross Bronx East at Castle Hill Ave, an accident there. Traffic sponsored by the Empire State Building. America's #1 attraction is right in your backyard. Find out why TripAdvisor travelers named the reimagined Empire State Building observation deck as the #1 attraction in the United States. Get your tickets at empirestatebuilding.com/radio. Open daily. Reservations required. I'm Debbie Duhame, 880 ESPN New York.
This is the Michael K. Show.
If for some reason they do not have focus, you have to make them focus by shocking them into focus. Send somebody down who has options that would never be thought to be sent down. Send them down. Release somebody. That'll get somebody's attention. You cannot keep playing baseball this way and expect things to change.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. 21 and over, physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY at 467-369.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. At Rings End, they're there to help realize your modern design visions. That's why they partner with Marvin. Engineered for big ideas, Marvin modern windows and doors deliver effortless elegance, expansive views, and industry-leading innovation, all in a modular system designed to meet the exacting principles of modern architecture. Experience Marvin Modern at a Rings End showroom today and create something stunning with them. Rings End is a certified Marvin installing retailer.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. That's how Prime members have saved over $2 billion on grocery and household items. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
When you tell someone what team you cheer for, do they apologize? Does your first childhood memory involve crying on a Jumbotron? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected from things like fire damage caused by violently unplugging the TV. Or an accidental overhand left to the drywall. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Covered subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, GNR in for DNR here on ESPN New York. Look at this fine item that we got here. John came in and gave us some gifts. Look at that bad boy. A little ESPN New York soccer scarf.
I think that's a scarf you win if you get a goal. If you got a goal on Rick last week, you get that scarf.
So people, did they win the scarf?
I think 9 people did.
Really? So 9 scarves were distributed?
At least.
Open it up. See what it looks like.
I must have seen all 9 of them. I'm telling you. I mean, I watched for like 2 minutes, and they were the first 5 people probably all nailed their shots. And Rick says he saved like 90%.
Rick,
on Beefy Rick.
You know, Rick did this professionally once upon a time. I'd have more faith in Rick in the goal last night than, Matt Freese.
I mean, he probably would have done better.
Let's see that. Oh, that's a nice little scarf there.
Rick probably wouldn't have dragged his foot on the ground like that.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Look at that. That's a nice little looking scarf. And, of course, we get it the day after the team is eliminated from the World Cup. But nevertheless,
I brought a crew to
Beach Bash.
The Beach Bash at Bar A.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies, big Islander fan, wasn't a big fan of Rick as a player.
Really?
Yeah. So he had mentioned that. And then, he's like, didn't like him as a player, blah, blah, blah. And then, obviously, we get there. He's like, Rick, oh, it's so great to meet you. I love you. I was a big fan of you as a player. And we're all like,
so he thought he was going to show up and have like an axe to grind with Rick, the player, but then he gets there and he's his best friend.
Originally, he wasn't going to come because he had some other commitment, and he was like, tell Rick, wasn't very good with the Islanders. And then, he comes and, super nice to his face, obviously.
Of course. And Rick's going to be a nice guy to them, as you would expect. Did they do like an autograph or a picture or anything like that?
He did take a picture.
Took a picture with him.
Took a picture.
Yeah. So your buddy, who hated him as a player, but yet he still ended up getting a picture when all was said and done.
Yeah, he had to send it to his dad.
And it's probably going to be like enlarged, framed, right in the man cave, right with the family pictures, right on the fireplace or whatever, probably. Let's get to some baseball here for a tad because, look, you as a Yankee fan, I don't think could have been more down, despondent over your baseball team yesterday.
It was an important win for them yesterday.
The sky was falling. I mean, you were as negative about this baseball team as one could possibly be.
I'm beaten down over a period of time. It's not the specific what's going on now. It's more like I don't have confidence in this group that exists right now. And I think most Yankee fans probably fall into that category.
It's fair. You're 100% fair, but yet we knew this was going to be an important series, 4 games in Tampa Bay, the team that you're chasing in that American League East. And not just that, and as we said, even the series after against the Nationals going into the All-Star break, not going to be easy. So what do you do last night? You give the ball to your ace, to your stud, to your stopper, the guy who's supposed to go out there and put a stop to the bleeding, deliver your team back to glory, at least for one game. And Cam Schlittler did that and then some. Bats were still a little cold. Jose Caballero, Johnny on the spot a couple of times. But boy, if Cam Schlittler did not justify his existence as the Yankees MVP of 2026, at least so far, I don't know what performance would tell you otherwise. He was great last night.
Unbelievable. The Yankees came into the game 4 games back of the Rays, so this was a big series. Like they couldn't afford to lose 3 out of 4 or, God forbid, get swept, right? And so to have your ace on the hill, it's a 4-game series, right? I'm correct about that?
Correct, 4 games.
So to have your ace on the mound in the first game, you kind of need to take that game, especially to lose 9 out of 10 coming in. He had a terrible start last time, the worst start definitely this season, I'm guessing, of his career.
It had to be, yeah, 100%.
I'm trying to think.
No, it was. It was the worst start of his career, yeah.
So to have him pitch like that, and he was dynamite. I mean, I was trying to go back and forth, and I'm hosting national radio at the same time. First of all, every inning it seemed like the Yankees were at bat. I would flick the channel to the soccer. By the time I flicked back, the inning was over for the first 4 innings.
It's like they couldn't wait to get out of there.
They had 0 hits.
They wanted to go watch a soccer game.
They did. The reality is walk, 3-run home run by Jose Caballero. Next thing you know, they're up 3-0. They had 1 hit at that point. They had 3 hits in the game. So am I totally convinced that all the Yankees, woes are cured? Absolutely not. I am 100% think they need to add a big bat in order for me to feel better about this team moving forward.
Of course.
And I won't feel good about this team until they do that. But to have Cam Schlittler and to have him pitch the way he did, and he's done that all year, and I don't care about that one start. You can tell me whatever you want about that one start. I don't care. And he seemed to take offense to the fact people, we're all over his one start. Did you hear that?
Oh, we definitely heard it. Here we go. Here's Cam Schlittler on bouncing back after his rough last outing.
Yeah, I had one bad outing, so, again, it was personal to go out there and just have a dominant start and put this team in the right position.
Did you make any adjustments after last week?
None really. Again, just stick to my strengths and try and do what I do best, and that's, attack hitters with, 3 fastballs.
Had the music pumping there in the background. Everybody was into it. Lively clubhouse. Do a little dance. And what was the exact quote that he had? He said, they want to say there's blank regression because I have one bad outing. So, again, it was personal to go out there and have a dominant start and put this team in the right position. That's what you want. That's the demeanor you want from your race. Right?
Was that a narrative that was, strong out there? Or, people just naturally saying, hey, he might not keep up having a 1.5 ERA all year, and especially since he's never pitched this much late in the second half of the season.
Do you know what I think it was? I think that Cam took it as a badge of honor that, all right, people are beating up on the club as a whole. And, remember Jordan admitted to this in The Last Dance, how, you kind of just manufacture things just to motivate yourself sometimes, even if they're not true. Just make things up to whatever's going to give you that extra boost. Right. I think that's what happened here. He heard all the noise that was circulating around the team, and he was like, well, they're attacking me. They're thinking that I'm done. They're thinking that I'm not as good as advertised because I had one bad performance. I'm going to go out there and show him. And guess what? Whatever he's got to do, it worked. Because that's the guy that you feel good every 5 days you give the ball to that it's going to stop the bleeding.
He was dominant. Basically, the second, third inning, he's throwing 100 miles per hour. 8 Ks, 4 hits, 1 run, 0 walks. Just the true definition of an ace and an all-star. And who would have thought? This is why I'm done, by the way, Dan, with MLB prospects. At this point last year, did you even know who Cam Schlittler was?
No.
Barely. If at all. I maybe heard his name.
Nope.
But no idea. We hear about all these guys all the time. Right? All these prospects. The Martian. Right?
Anthony Volpe.
Off
limits. Well, you got two guys.
Cam Schlittler and Ben Rice.
Two guys who weren't super prospects.
The two MVPs of this team. Ben Rice hits a home run yesterday, 9th inning, 25th of the year now. That helped them tack another one on. Bednar closed the game out in the 9th. Not really any trouble there for him. So it was just a nice, clean, easy game for the Yankees. Feel confident when your ace goes out there. And that's why ultimately I don't think anybody, I'm worried about whether they can win a World Series. I don't think, you tell me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Ray and RJ could chime in too. I don't think nobody's really concerned they're not going to make the playoffs, right?
No, but you were a little more uppity yesterday. You were fired up. You thought that this thing was headed in a very, very undesirable direction. And I was worried for you.
I just really don't like their lineup. Their lineup is bad.
But again, the lineup right now on July 7th is not the lineup that's going to be on September the 7th or October the 7th. That's
you're banking on some of these guys getting
It'll
healthy.
happen. I can't promise you Stanton, but I can promise you Judge. Judge will be out there. Even if he has to go out there and play with a somewhat fractured rib, he'll go out there and play.
How do we know that Aaron Judge is going to come back after missing 3 months and be, MVP Aaron Judge?
Well, he might not be MVP Aaron Judge, but he'll give it everything he has to go out there.
But
he'll shoot it up, he'll tape it up, he'll wrap it up, whatever he's got to do.
But
he'll
then
be
without
out there.
MVP Aaron Judge, this is what it looks like.
No, you're right. No, but that's why the deadline. They're going to bring in another bat. You know they will.
So the bottom of their lineup right now has Ryan McMahon at batting 206 with a 270 on base. And then Austin Wells at 151 with a 246 on base.
Look, here's the thing.
And then you're wrapping it around to Trent Grisham at the top with a whopping 232 with 337. And I get it. He slugs. He has a 414 slug and not terrible. And he can get big hits. But that's not a recipe for success in the playoffs, if you ask me.
Here's the problem with McMahon.
That's what worries me.
Remember last year, midway through the season, third base was like a black hole. They had nobody. Remember, Cashman basically ignored third base. The year before that, it was left field. They had no left fielder.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was third base. So Rockies were having a sale if you wanted any of that garbage that they had out there. McMahon was a guy you figured, all right, left-handed stick. He's a real good glove. Short porch in right field at the stadium. He'd be able to take advantage of that, but that's not necessarily his strength. It wasn't even necessarily in Colorado. So the bat hasn't played to maybe where some fans had the expectation that it would. But to me, if McMahon goes out there and could play every single day and at least shore up third base, I'm okay with that.
That's fine. And I totally agree with that, especially at that position. It's a very important fielding position. But you can't have 3 or 4 guys that you can't
Well, that's where
hit.
the injuries play a big factor.
But I'm saying him and Wells, there's 2 guaranteed. Those are full-time starters at this current moment.
I understand that.
I'm not the biggest Trent Grisham fan. I know he had a great year last year. I don't love the approach, especially come playoff time, and they're going to just keep throwing lefties at him. And then Josh Chisholm, while we're at it, he hasn't been good this year. He's been bad in the playoffs for the Yankees. He's also super boomer bust. Then that's a lot of holes to have in a lineup in the playoffs. And all those guys happen to be all lefties, by the way, on top of everything else. And so if you match a lefty up against them, you basically have no chance, right?
Right.
You got to throw in Goldschmidt. You got to, I don't know, they don't even have a righty catcher, really, do they?
Well, here's the problem. You're facing lefties for the next 2 nights in Tampa Bay, okay?
Not ideal.
McClanahan could be a pain in the neck tomorrow. And then you go to Washington afterwards. Is it too much to ask? Is it too unrealistic? I mean, the way the Yankees have been going, maybe it is a little bit, but what if I told you, including last night's win, that you're going to go 5-2 this week going into the All-Star break? That'd be a nice little feather in your cap.
I mean, obviously.
Right? Take 3 out of 4 in Tampa, 2 out of 3 in D.C., but that's asking a lot. 4-3, you take a nice 4-3, split in Tampa, 2-3 in D.C.?
I was thinking in my head if I would take 3 and 4. They just lost 9 of 12.
Doesn't matter. You want to go in with some momentum. 4, I do not, because you have Schlittler going again Saturday in D.C. 4-3 going into the break. You already got 1. Play 500 baseball the next 6 days.
Sign me up right now. No doubt.
Ray, you take that? 4-3 going into the break this week?
I'm just going back to what Jordan said. It's like, who cares? They're going to make the playoffs. It's just like the main payoff is what we care about, and I don't feel like that's going to happen. So
it's realistic. I'm saying it's realistic.
Sure, it's realistic
because you got one already.
But do I care at this point? Do I care?
Well, you care if they went 1-6, or should I do my math? Like they went 1-9 in the 7-game stretch.
It was pretty bad. See, that was math there because you said 1-9 and a 7.
I did it on purpose.
Okay.
I was like making fun of myself.
Well, see,
it's hard to tell sometimes.
It's a big start for Will Warren tonight. He was better last time out, even though they lost the game. But remember, he had a rough June because Will Warren was like a guy who was flying under the radar the first 2 months. Like so many guys were performing at such a high level for the Yankees that Will Warren was just kind of like, oh, he's along for the ride. But he was pretty good. But the month of June was like a comeback to earth moment for him. He's got to get it together again. The last start against Detroit, I thought, was a step in the right direction for him. If he gives you another good performance tonight, maybe puts you in position to steal a game. We'll see. 800-919-3776. Quick time out. We return and get into a little Met conversation. Does it really mean anything? And the noise around Soto and Lindor continues to fester. What should be done next? GNR, ESPN New York.
The World's Game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payouts so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pregame, straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the World's Game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus years of age to wager and physically present in New York only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Empower.
Katie got a VIP box for the postseason. She worked with Empower to help her get good at money so she can be a little bad. She planned well and was able to bring the whole family.
Who wants homemade egg salad sandwiches?
Even Beth.
Horseradish? Anyone? How about some tuna on rye?
Aw, strike 3, Beth. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
When I wake up
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
When you tell someone what team you cheer for, do they apologize? Does your first childhood memory involve crying on a Jumbotron? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected from things like fire damage caused by violently unplugging the TV. Or an accidental overhand left to the drywall. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Covered subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
All right, GNR in for DNR on ESPN New York. Did you see what happened as we went to break that last segment? Ray, who I consider almost like a blood relative, he admonished me as we went to break.
Did he?
Yeah, very kind of like, I don't even know if I don't even want to say passive aggressive. It was just, I think, flat out aggressive.
No, I think it was more aggressive.
It was aggressive, right? See,
I cut
the
you
hell
some
with the passive.
I cut you some slack on the previous break because you were supposed to set up RJ for his read after the long segment.
So
you didn't there. I gave you grace because the last time you did it, you realized and you said, "Okay, I'll get it on the next segment." Another segment passed. We're now in the last segment of the 8 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
it's got to get done at some point.
It's got to get done.
So you're right. I did admonish you, and maybe I did come on a little strong there, but.
So, see, like when you turn the mic off, you go to break. It's kind of like an exhale a little bit. It's like, okay, segment done. What are we going to talk about? How are we going to come back? I jarred
you right out of it,
and then it was bang. It was like, ooh, like I didn't even know what hit me. And this is a guy, like I said, I consider him like a blood relative, and this is what I get.
Sometimes family does that to each other. You got to keep on your nose.
Did you? I don't know if you talked to Jake, who works.
Jake,
Jake
who took our picture yesterday, who was soaking wet in the monsoon. Jake,
Jake. Did you? I saw some of the comments. There was people commenting about. They said about your boobs. They're calling you man boobs.
Oh my God! What are we doing?
You, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's Jake's fault. You are in good shape. You're in better shape than me. I'm the fatter of the two here.
Call them whatever they want. I call them probably muscle.
I think he used an unflattering picture of you.
Maybe he did. I don't know. But I don't read the comments. I didn't even see the picture, to be honest with you. Where's the picture? I didn't even see it.
It's on the gram.
Yeah,
it's on the gram.
See, I don't do the gram, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. You know what? You don't do the gram.
I don't do the gram. That's why. Don't know. But that's okay. I'm more offended by like what Ray did as opposed to any comments that people are going to say. Because I don't expect that from Ray.
Tough love.
You know? Oh, so is RJ going to tee up RJ to do that read anytime soon today?
It was like, I guess RJ's not doing it.
Are we waiting here? I thought that's what we're waiting for. I thought we were waiting for him to jump in anytime and save this.
Because I was expecting it to go the previous segment, and I was expecting it to go that segment.
It was such a bleep move. You know what I mean? It was a bleep move on his part.
I heard it. It was very passive-aggressive, but I didn't know if
there's
that
no
was
passive.
No, I said
it was just aggressive.
So I just said, so RJ's just not going to do the read this hour, I guess.
Such a bleep move.
Ray ran out of patience.
There's so many things I want to call you right now, but I guess I used that up in the first hour.
But I mean, like I said those things. I said those things in the room here to RJ. Like the previous segment's like, were you not supposed to do a read there? Okay, I guess we'll get it next segment.
If the dump button was like the ABS challenge, I used one of my challenges already.
Exactly. You're already up against it, and you can't do that again. John's in the office now.
No, and plus, but I told John I did. I even fessed up to it, almost like a badge of honor. It's like, guess what I did in the first hour, the first segment.
You made sure the dump button works.
Yeah. I'm like the Mets. Remember, like when the Mets had that run going where they burned their challenges in the first inning, like Mark Vientos or whatever.
That's a thing we used to have to do in the past when we did early mornings. It's like, hey, what are the first things you should do is make sure the dump button works. Just build a delay and just hit the dump button and just make sure it works every morning. Yeah. You fulfilled that test this morning.
Do I have one of those just in case?
A button?
A dump button?
I don't think you do.
No. So we have to handle it. But sometimes, like, we've
it's a lot of trust in you guys.
But we've had this conversation.
That's a lot of trust
the position of the button, though, sometimes, like, if you go to break, we say, hey, we go to break. And when I go to turn the microphone off, you hit the dump button by mistake. Like, that's happened before. And then all of a sudden, if you go back and listen, it's just like this abrupt end to the segment.
Well, if you remember the way back to the old place, back at 2 Penn, the dump button used to have like
oh, it had the case.
the button like the red button at the
yes
like the missile launcher
so you couldn't
hit it by
open
mistake.
You had to break the glass.
You would think, by the way,
you have to lift the plastic cover and then hit the button.
You would think, by the way, that Rick's chair would have the button. That would be the one that has the button.
Yeah, Rick is the last place that needs to have the button, like because he'd never use it.
He wouldn't self-report. That's what it was.
He wouldn't use it. Be wasteful there.
He wouldn't self-report that. But on that note,
that's your job.
On that note,
exactly.
RJ, we've talked so much soccer today.
Tons.
So much soccer.
A ton.
And you know what? There are probably people out there that even though the U.S.'s run in the World Cup is done, they're probably thinking to themselves, you know what? I still would like to get my hands on one of those honey of a jerseys.
Yeah.
Where do I go about doing that?
Well, Dan, I'm glad you asked.
Ray, you listening?
You'd want to go to Champs
8:53.
Fan Central.
It's still
Station.
8.
Because if you've been watching the U.S., you don't have to punt on the whole World Cup. But clearly, I mean, listen, you probably want to go out because this weekend there is no U.S. So now you got to change your wardrobe. You need a Messi jersey. You need a Holland jersey. You need something of that nature. And wherever you want to go, in what direction, you want to go to Champ Sports Fan Central Station. To Soccer Pop-Up, 125 West 33rd Street. And if you're like Dan, he was telling me he has some jersey problems. Maybe you want to just swing on by. We love Champs. Dan is also a big fan of Champs. And you can get whatever you need there. Again, 125 West 33rd Street. It's right in the middle of the city, right in Midtown. And maybe you're just like, you know what? I'm kind of good with the World Cup. Let me go back, as Josh Hart tweeted, the U.S. men's national team are out, but the Knicks are still champions. So you can still go get your championship gear for the Knicks as they celebrate their first title in 53 years. They have it all. Champ Sports Fan Central Station.
There you go.
How long is that going to keep everyone happy, you think?
A long time.
For what, the jersey or the Champs?
For Yankee fans. But
for
Yankee fans, it's only going to be until they lose in the playoffs. That Knicks championship's not going to make them feel any better. Are you here? Are you still engaged?
No,
here?
I'm saying that like
don't pretend like you weren't texting.
No, I was.
And doing something else.
I was texting.
Yeah,
no,
obviously.
But to Ray's point, like when the game went final last night, I was actually thinking about in our group chat texting. Well, at least the Knicks won the championship. Because that's the end all be all for anything. Like doesn't matter what happens. Like well, at least the Knicks are champs, right? Like last night, Ray. That was the first time we could put that to the test. Knicks won the championship.
Yeah.
Right,
but again, like I didn't even have to make up the rationalization myself. Josh Hart made it for me. I just looked at Josh's Twitter. It's like, yeah, you know what? We're champs. Who cares?
It's true.
That logic doesn't really hold up true for me. Doesn't work.
It doesn't?
Nah. Different sports.
Does for me.
Like the Knicks have a grace period. My other teams that I root for don't get a grace period because another team that I root for happened to win. Think about the logic to that. Doesn't make sense. My complaints with the Yankees have nothing to do with the Knicks winning a championship. Like, so the Yankees, when the Yankees were winning World Series, we couldn't complain about the Knicks being terrible because the Yankees won. You know what I mean?
But this championship, though, stands the test of time, though, because it is like a once in a lifetime. That's what makes it so special.
I think it depends on how you're approaching the Yankees. Like I think there's a pretty big divide between like you and Raymond, how you guys are talking about it. Like like Jordan, I think you're holding out hope that if all goes right and they get healthy and they maybe make a move, maybe a big one, small one. I don't know what they have in store for the deadline. This Yankee team can make a run not only through the AL but at a World Series. I don't think Raymond has that belief whatsoever. I don't think he thinks he could speak for himself.
Nothing?
No matter what happens, they're not getting the job done. So I think that's why he has
it's like the anti-Knicks take for me now because I believed all year that the Knicks were going to get the job done.
He was Mr. like bullish,
real optimist
on everything.
And I feel like I'm on the opposite side of that train with the Yankees because the Yankees refuse to address what the issues have been for years now. It's the same old story year after year with the Yankees. Yeah, they made the World Series run. It just so happened to be the year they had Juan Soto. Go figure. But like other than that, like what do you have to base on that the Yankees are going, at the end of the day?
I have the slimmer of hope that
because the AL
sliver
sucks.
of hope
Because the AL sucks.
It's not that. It's that if their pitching staff is healthy and their starting staff is healthy at the right time, and they add a bat that they can make a run.
They're capable of making a run. I don't believe that they will.
If you have Schlittler, Fried, Cole, Warren, Rodon, whoever,
the fourth guy's a bonus anyways in the playoffs, even honestly, in a best of 7.
If you make the right move or two, I do think, and one of those excess starters can be an asset in the bullpen. I don't see any reason they couldn't make a run. But the lineup, that's why it infuriates me that we sit here with the lineup over and over again being the same problem.
But it's not just the pitching that's a problem.
I'll tell you a guy who would fit in nicely, a guy who used to wear the uniform.
I'm not worried about their starting
guy in Queens right now. Luke Weaver. That's a guy you should go after.
You know, he would have been nice to keep around.
Finally gave up a run last night, even though it technically isn't earned because it was the Manfred guy in the 10th inning, the runner at second base. But still, he's been fantastic for them.
Love Luke Weaver as a Yankee. He just happened to last year. He fell apart at the end of the year.
He did, but he found himself
seemed to
in
run
Queens.
out of gas. But yeah.
All right, quick timeout. We come back. We'll reset back to the soccer. Still haven't gotten into the Mets and their behind-the-scenes drama, which never seems to go away, despite the fact that they win last night. It is GNR in for DNR. We roll till 10 on ESPN New York.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with a substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. So if you're looking to get in on the biggest tournament in the world, now is your time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right, if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with a substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See them in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Wherever your day takes you, across New Jersey, into New York, or down to Philadelphia, New Jersey Transit gets you there. Skip the traffic and stay on track. With busy travel periods ahead, plan ahead, check schedules, and allow extra time for your trip. From workdays to weekends, New Jersey Transit keeps your routine moving with reliable, convenient service. Ride smart. Plan your trip at njtransit.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
When it comes to your yard, reliability matters. Shop with confidence at the Home Depot and get 4th of July savings on Ryobi, the #1 cordless outdoor power brand. It's time to choose your power. Both the Ryobi 18-volt and 40-volt self-propelled mower kits are on special buy for an even lower price of $429 each, was $479. Ryobi's battery platform delivers the power, runtime, and dependability you need to tackle yard work with ease. Shop 4th of July savings on Ryobi outdoor power only at the Home Depot. While supplies last, pricing valid June 25th through July 8th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Congratulations to the New York Knicks. They are the 2026 NBA champions. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
We took a giant you-know-what on that field.
We mistook our evaluation of this team was psychologically and mentally what they would do if they faced adversity.
Breeze has got to get there and deal with it. He takes it down off the chest. DeCantelaro knocks it away.
They weren't ready for the moment.
I couldn't have seen that coming in a million years.
What went wrong? I mean, what went right?
Just World Cup failure.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
2009 beat #1 Spain. But we're talking 8 years ago.
On ESPN New York. And streaming live on YouTube.
All right, hour number 4. We are flying by on this Tuesday morning. It is Graca Renan, GNR in for DNR on ESPN New York. Bart and Carlin warming up in the bullpen. They'll be along for the ride coming up at 10. RJ did his live read. Everybody is happy. Ray won't attack me anymore this hour. And the United States soccer team won't be attacking anybody for the rest of this World Cup because they are done. They are finito as Belgium humbles the United States. Is that a good way to put it? Gave him a reality check last
I think you're
night.
being nice.
I'm being
I
nice.
think you're being nice for what we saw. That was just a total demolition. I mean, they just thrashed the United States. The United States just looked tentative, I think is the right word. There was just a lack of confidence. And the surprising, because it was kind of the opposite of what we've seen from them for the most part in the tournament. And also just very disappointing because this country wants to see growth for soccer, and especially when the World Cup is on our home turf. And now we're sitting here saying, was this whole tournament, which is the World Cup where we're playing at home, a failure?
Nothing.
Right? That's the question that faces them now.
Nothing will line up. Nothing will be tailored to where we want it any better than this tournament and the way this all lined up, right? One of the loudest stadiums we have in our country for any sport, and in this case we're talking about the NFL, Lumen Field in Seattle. You know, we played a game there already and won. It was a raucous atmosphere. You had a Belgium team, which this wasn't even supposed to be a great Belgium squad, not to the level of maybe some of their previous teams. We were a favorite, depending on, what side of the coin you flip in this game. So it wasn't like we were sitting there talking about a pipe dream. Like we were talking about trying to
beating Spain, which would have been the next round.
Beating Spain or France or Argentina or something like that. No, this was a winnable game at home in the round of 16. You move on to the final 8 of the World Cup. I even said to you yesterday, I was like, think about this for a second. Like when we showed up to do this show yesterday, we were one of, 12 teams that still had a chance. The dirty dozen. And we were dirty last night, and not in a good way. Because that was the tournament itself is not an embarrassment for the United States. The way it ended, that 90 minutes last night was an embarrassment.
Yeah, definitely put a damper on the whole tournament and what the U.S. had accomplished during the group stage, which wasn't a great group, but they zoomed through it, right? The first 2 games, thrashed Paraguay, pretty easily handled Australia, 2 teams that also advanced, right? But this was a reality check, Dan, of where we are with U.S. soccer. And the reality is, and remember, the conversation over the last few weeks, can the U.S. win it? Do they have even a fighter's chance? I think they can win it all. You heard these hot takes like that. The reality is, not only do they have 0 chance of winning it all, right? There's only 8 countries that ever won the World Cup.
Correct.
The reality is, we're not even in the same neighborhood. We're not even in the same country, in the same street, whatever you want to make, whatever stupid analogy you want to make. They're not even in the same hemisphere as the top teams and even these second-tier teams like the Belgians, the world, Germany, if you want to consider them a second tier right now, Uruguay. Like, we're not even at that level. That's what last night proved. On the biggest stage, we can't compete with any top 10 teams.
No.
We wilted, as a matter of fact.
We wilted.
And
so we, and Carlin was in here a little while ago, and we were talking about everything, and we said it, we were just talking off the air. It's the same thing. It seems like ever since 1994 and the end of that World Cup, every ouster for the United States at a World Cup, it seems like it's the same recycled conversation. How does this program get to the next level? How can you measure yourself up against the elites around the world at soccer? When do we start to close the gap? And here we are in 2026, where we had it on our soil. We had talented players. We had shown flashes. You had an opponent that, on a global scale, was certainly more respected than us, at least in soccer, in world football. And we didn't answer the call and just had some shake your head moments on that field.
Yeah, it was embarrassing on top of everything else. The Matt Freese gaffe at the back, where he basically passes the ball to the other team when he's outside the box, gives up an open net goal. Tim Ream then is tripping over himself as the ball is coming to him after he gets dunked on, basically. The guy heads the ball, while throwing him to the ground for a goal earlier. The rest of the world, the reality is they're looking at that and they're laughing. And then on top of everything that played out with the Flo Balogun red card and the suspension, allowing him to play, he misses 2 key opportunities to score. One being late when they were down 3-1, probably wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Good save by Courtois on the one where he came in on his own and he tried to kind of deke him with the shot a little bit there.
Yeah, I saw Ibrahimovic. I was maybe even Henry, Thierry Henry. Mm-hmm. He basically said you got to take that to your right foot on the inside. This way you give yourself a better angle. You make it a tougher angle by keeping it on your left foot.
Heat of the moment, though.
There.
You know what I mean? Like, heat of the moment, we easier said than done.
Yeah, but these are the details that matter, Dan, when you're playing at this level. This Belgian team, as much as they hadn't been great in this tournament, they're a top 10 team in the world. And now we're looking at it, and the gap hasn't closed. And we didn't even get as far, you repeat 2002 when they made the quarterfinals. So we're playing at home. We have the advantage of playing at home, and we didn't even get that far. Nevertheless, make it further with everything tilted in our favor. You're supposed to have everything tilted in your favor. If they play Belgium anywhere else besides the United States or on U.S. home turf, they're going to be an underdog. Their favor last night. That's how much of the scales tilt in your favor. And it didn't matter. The gap isn't closed. As a matter of fact, it's probably just as large. Even though my eyes tell me the U.S. team is better and they're more skilled and offensively talented, gifted players, more seasoned. Yesterday showed when in the biggest stage when the lights are on and it's hard to win at this at under these lights, that they're still not even close.
And then, of course, you throw in the other factor of the Balogun thing with FIFA and the day before and having the red card rescinded. And, look, Belgium was fueled by that to a certain degree.
Do you think it affected the U.S., though?
I don't think it affected the U.S. No, I don't. I know a lot of people want to insinuate that, and maybe there's secondary reasons for them wanting to think that because they have their own agendas. I don't think it had any role in them in the way that they played in that game last night. I think it did give a little extra wind in the sail to Belgium because you knew that the coach already made comments on Sunday about it, that it was ridiculous, and how does the governing body go ahead and make a decision like that? So I do think that it also helped the opponent, but on a global level here, we're being laughed at, right? Because, like, the world saw this as, like, FIFA pulling strings. They helped you.
Pulled your political
it's
strings.
rigged.
And what did it do for you? Big bad bully USA.
And he got embarrassed.
Go back to American football. That's what they're saying.
We look at some of these other teams as a measuring stick. Okay, we're not on Belgium's level, clearly, and that was a pretty wide gap in just 90 minutes last night. We said earlier in the show, too, think about teams that weren't even playing yet or are not playing at this point in the World Cup any longer. Germany. Are we as good as the Germans? No. The Dutch.
Look,
we're
if
not
we
better
play the
than
way
the
we played
Netherlands.
last night, we're not going to be better than,
but we're still not on that
anybody.
level.
But if we play our A game, I think the gap is a lot smaller than we're sitting here thinking right now because it was such a mess last night.
I agree, but I'm just saying there are teams that aren't even still alive in this World Cup that we're not even at that level. Germany, the Netherlands. Italy didn't qualify for the World Cup, but we don't have the soccer tradition of Italy. No way, no how, you know? So, and the fact that you expanded the World Cup to 48 teams, just because you won a knockout round game against Bosnia, that was the round of 32. Once upon a time, like our lifetimes, there were only 32 teams in the World Cup. So if you got out of your group and made the knockout stage, you got to the round of 16, which is where our run ended this time. So it's like we're still not necessarily making any substantial progress in black and white, right? Like you got to be able to win a round of 16 game and get to the quarterfinals. And in 14, we lost to Belgium. 18, we didn't even make the World Cup. 22, we get bounced by the Dutch. And then last night, Belgium again. So 3 straight World Cup ousters in the round of 16 against European teams.
And what this is, when it's on your home turf, is a missed opportunity.
100%.
And I think that was the headline on the front of ESPN.com right now. Yeah, U.S. national team will look back at 2026 World Cup as a missed opportunity. And that's exactly what it is, because this is a chance to showcase the game to people who maybe aren't normally paying attention. So young kids growing up now say, I want to be Christian Pulisic. Look what he just did. He took us to the, quarterfinals with this big goal, but that didn't happen. There's no moments where they're going to say, I want to be Christian Pulisic or Flo Balogun. Like, he obviously had good moments earlier in the tournament, but clearly not in this game. Nobody really had any good moments in this game. So it's a big missed opportunity to grow the game. That was what happened in 94. It helped, spawn MLS, help the beginning of growing the game in the country. It seems like we're stuck in quicksand right now.
You know what the problem is? 94, we were like the cute little story, the little engine that could, right? And whatever happened, a lot has been made. We had the great win against Colombia. Escobar, unfortunately, happened to him and what was tragic afterwards. But we basically won on an own goal, right? Helped mightily by an own goal that game. Got out of the group, played the eventual champions Brazil 1-0, and it was like that was like gravy. That the Brazil game was like house money. It's like, oh look, only 1-0. Okay, maybe in the years to come, this program is going to keep
that's because
moving
we were
forward.
at the basement at that point.
Right, we're at the
So
basement.
we're starting at the basement.
And
Now we're in the middle floor.
Right, but we haven't moved from the middle floor. That's the problem.
It's how do we take the elevator up to the penthouse? But how do we get there?
That 94 World Cup, that's 36 years ago. 32 years ago.
Hey.
No, because I'm just tired.
Math is just off. This is a non-math
We've been saying it so much. But 32 years, right? Yeah. I mean, that's how many World Cups. And we didn't even qualify for all of them.
That's why it's such a missed opportunity. When's the next time the World Cup is going to be in the United States?
Like you said, there's going to be flying cars.
I'll maybe be in a wheelchair.
Flying cars, baby.
Who knows? I might not be here.
800-919-3776. Sean in the car up next here on ESPN New York. Sean, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. First off, I want to say my friends call me crazy, but you're my favorite host on this entire station. No shade to anybody else.
That doesn't sound crazy to me.
Sean, you have horrible, horrible taste. You know that, right? So your friends are right.
That's self-deprecation. I agree with you.
Oh, I know. Second, here's my point. Everyone's talking Pulisic this, Pulisic that. I'm not the biggest soccer fan, but I played golf with Clint Dempsey a few times. People forget he's got the most goals as an American in European soccer leagues, 57, I believe it is. Tell these kids, don't be Christian Pulisic. Be Clint Dempsey. He's an American hero. That guy is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met and ever seems to put his name in conversation. I understand he didn't play for Chelsea, but it's real frustrating to hear Pulisic hasn't scored a goal since the last World Cup, guys. It's crazy. I'm sorry to yell, but you guys have a great morning, all right?
Sean, appreciate you.
Hey, he belongs in the conversation, Clint Dempsey, and it's fair. The comparing goals isn't exactly fair. They kind of play a different position. But
we talked about it yesterday, like Clint Dempsey, Landon Donovan's, like if those are the best, like, quote-unquote strikers that we've developed, you know what I mean? Or like, offensive players that we've developed in our nation's history on the international level, how are those guys viewed?
Well, that's where we are as a soccer country. I mean, that's the reality. We're not producing Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi.
But you know something, though? 20 years ago, we were having the same conversation. Like when Landon Donovan was like the best player on the team. Like, again, people in the soccer community in this country would say, like, really? Is like Landon Donovan, like, that's the best? That's what we have to ride home about? Like, if, you bring your best guy, I'll bring my best guy. If we go to, like, the World Soccer Summit, like, that's what we're bringing to the party? It's nice.
It is. That's what we're
But
bringing
it's
to the
not as
party.
nice as somebody else's toy. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why the hype is there for Christian Pulisic, because he already had showed that he can produce on the European stage.
Right.
Chelsea played in the Champions League final. AC Milan, where he basically evolved into one of their, or if not their best player in the Italian league. And he has had the most international success out of any player that the U.S. has produced. But you wanted it now. This was his opportunity again to then translate to the U.S. national team. And let's be fair, especially yesterday, came up extremely small.
It was a bad World Cup.
14 times he was dispossessed in that game in 50-something minutes. Like, played great in the first half of the first game, and after that, it was all downhill. And so our best player, our most accomplished player at least, did not produce. Very disappointing.
And he sat out the Gold Cup last summer, right, which was here as well. And his reason was he wanted to recharge and be as fit as a fiddle for the World Cup. And when you don't get it done the following summer in an even bigger tournament, it doesn't reflect well. Edgar in Bloomingdale up next here on ESPN New York. Hello, Edgar.
Hey, what's up, boys? They decided to play Jets football last night, the USMNT team. What happened?
I think you're being kind.
That freeze. Yeah, that
was like a 35-0 loss. That's like a 35-0 loss with the butt fumble in the game.
Yeah, but that goalie mess up, come on. In a friendly, even in a friendly, it's bad. A World Cup game, you mess up like that? That's not. We're laughed at after that.
Well, Edgar, here's you know what's funny about that too, because like we were talking about it yesterday in the show, like the friendly back in March against Belgium when they beat us 5-2. I didn't put a lot of stock into that. I said, there's a different team, different month, different time, the way they're playing. This is lining up the way it should. And fact of the matter is, guys, 2 games against Belgium in the last, 4 or 5 months, we've given up 9 goals.
9-3.
9 friggin' goals.
Not good.
Not
but
good
can
at
we
all.
talk a different team? La Selección Colombia.
They're alive.
You got them. Then Argentina next. I don't want to look ahead, but that's what it's mapping out.
That's a tough one.
I wouldn't do that.
That's a tough one.
We did that. We
Don't
did that
sleep
maybe
on
a little bit
Switzerland.
yesterday.
Don't sleep on Switzerland. That'll be a tough game tonight, Edgar. It
Well,
really will.
I looked ahead. I was like, should I call out of work? It starts at 3 on Friday. What should I do if U.S.A.'s, and they didn't even come close.
I told you, Dan. I did that too. We shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that.
I don't think it impacted the game last
I don't
night.
think it impacted
I'm
the game.
putting
I
the
knew it was a
schedule and
bad
the bracket
idea.
away.
Yeah, put the
I'm with
bracket
you.
away.
I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you, Renan. Put the bracket away. I'm with you.
Put
All
the
right.
bracket away.
Have a great day, gentlemen.
Edgar, appreciate you. But for planning purposes, you could look ahead. That's what he said. Like your intent was pure.
In the back of our heads, we're thinking, they're probably going to win. They got a good chance to win.
I told you there was a 4-hour period yesterday where I was thinking, boy, we're going to be able to. We're going to be the ones that are going to have to take down Spain for about 4 hours.
How do you think Tim Ream against Lamine Lamal? I can keep botching his name. Don't clip that. Yamin Lamal. How do you think that would have gone?
Lamine Yamal, he's got a cup at McDonald's just like Christian Pulisic has. You think they're in the same category?
You don't like this Pulisic has all these advertisements, huh?
I mean, you promoting the program or you promoting a player, right? He was in every friggin' commercial. The only guy on the team that was,
players help sell the program.
I get it, but we got a lot of other good players too. Flo Balogun, put him in a commercial. Instead of red guard, right guard. Flo Balogun.
He's the most accomplished player we've ever produced in Europe.
Well,
club level.
As far as producing in the World Cup of the United States, left a lot to be desired. And he wanted no part of the Gold Cup
left the game
last
early.
year. Not good. Not good,
Limped
Bob.
off. And now the reality is that's 3 times, right?
Like
in the last 2 World Cups, he hasn't finished the game.
He could drown his sorrows in all those Hershey bars they made for him, right? Go home with all of those. Get nice and fat.
See a lot of bitterness towards Christian Pulisic.
Not Christian Pulisic. He's guilty by association, unfortunately. Hey, RJ.
Hi.
Did you know the USA lost last night?
I came across that, yeah.
Did you see that? Did you watch that? What'd you think of that game?
To what you guys are talking about, it's getting to be a tough sell with Pulisic on the U.S. side. Because how good can you feel about him being the cornerstone player? For whatever reason, he's either not available or becomes unavailable during these matches.
I'm not going to single anybody out, by the way, but Christian Pulisic, not popular in the group chat last night.
Christian Pulisic's just not popular, period.
Well,
he's not. But you heard Carly Lloyd. I don't know if you're watching the post game.
Oh, I heard she gave him the business.
She basically said our best player. She was disappointed that he didn't play. He didn't play well after the first half, and you need your best players to play big. And that's
she got rings. She got rings.
Well,
and that's a fair critique.
He hasn't played big in about 2 years, though.
Well,
but she also passed the comment. Sorry, RJ, real quick. That, and I think this is what we're kind of talking about here, is like he doesn't really want to be the leader of the team, even though he's the most accomplished player. And I think that was a very notable line that she had there.
I think that's accurate.
Well, you would have left him in his age 27 season to be the captain of this team, be the full face of it. And what you're saying,
100%.
What you're saying, Jordan, makes it even tougher. So if he's the most accomplished player, like he came out of sub in a Champions League final, and yet we don't feel like we're getting any of that. Like he makes himself unavailable for the Gold Cup, and then comes around for the World Cup. We talked about it earlier. Plays great against Paraguay in the first half, unavailable. Next game, unavailable. Turkey comes on as a sub. Creative, looks pretty good. And then he's good against Bosnia. And then he doesn't finish this match. But in that first half, I'm not going to kill him for the... I guess you're saying it's an ankle. I'm not going to crush him for that. If you can't play through, you can't play. You're not fit. But he was not good in the first half.
Nope.
We don't feel like we're getting any piece of that AC Milan version of him. Or
Nope.
the Chelsea, the Borussia Dortmund. We're not getting that here.
1 minute into the game. 1 minute. He had a terrible clearance in the middle, right in the middle of the box, and Matt Freese had to make a ridiculous save. 1 minute into the game. 1 minute.
I know you went back and watched like the first 20 minutes or whatever. I don't think I could even go back and watch some of that again.
Or even say,
well, I was busy hosting national radio, so
I
was.
But I'm just saying, like,
so I was only.
He's big timing you again.
That was not the point
just
of that.
busy hosting.
The point was
national radio.
The point was my
coming
attention was split. So I'm trying to watch the Yankees at the same time. Keep an eye on the Yankees. I'm trying to watch the soccer, but yet I'm actually hosting and driving as well.
And driving. And driving.
He basically told you to know your place, just like Belgium told Team USA to know your place.
Can't win around here. Can't win around here. I shouldn't even try to give logic.
So let's see. Jordan big times me. Ray admonished me earlier. And so, RJ, you're the only missing leg from the table that hasn't taken a shot at me this morning.
We got 37 minutes figured out.
If anything, it's a Jordan theme. I mean, he already wiped me out in the group chat. Now he's coming after you. So
that is true. He set the tone because he was aggressive in the group chat like 2 days ago.
I told you guys I was going to be Rick when I first came in and sent a couple of ridiculous memes.
Which was it? The Turkey match even where he got megged on one of the goals too?
Yeah, it was the winning goal.
I mean,
the winning goal of the Turkey match.
Listen, that result inconsequential.
Still not used to saying Turkey.
But
I hate it.
I think that's what it comes down to me. I mean, that's the problem with this World Cup too, and just the format of it. He's the wonder boy, right? And now all of a sudden, next World Cup, he's gonna be 31 years old.
Don't give Wonder Bread any ideas. They'll probably make him the pitch man for their next World Cup.
I mean, 31 is still like perfectly in a superstar age range, but I mean, it's happening fast.
Or you could be 41 and still play 90 minutes like some other teams and players.
Hey, he finished the match. Would you rather?
You know what's crazy about that though? Like,
I was surprised that Ronaldo wasn't subbed out.
For Gonzalo Ramos, the guy who scored the game-winning goal against freaking Croatia, but he can't get on the field because you have to play Ronaldo 90 minutes. Herein lies the problem with the program.
You think playing Cristiano Ronaldo costs Portugal a chance to go far in this tournament?
Absolutely. They're ranked 5th in the world. There were people before the tournament said they could win the World Cup. They probably had the best you could make a case they had the best midfield in the world. And there are certain guys that couldn't get on the field because he has to play an insane amount of minutes for a guy his age. I don't care what the back of the baseball card says. He shouldn't be playing as much. You can make a case he shouldn't even have been on the team.
So, Dan, anti-Pulisic, anti-Cristiano Ronaldo.
Right.
You hate Messi, too?
I got nothing against him.
Well, you think he sucks?
And I got nothing against Ronaldo either or Pulisic.
But I mean, to Dan's point, we were talking about before the show.
I'm kidding.
I know that, but the standard, like for example, RJ, the standard is different for certain people that you set. Like Ronaldo, for example, he's a shell of what he used to be. He scored 3 goals though in this World Cup. Like we were talking about it during the game yesterday. Like me and my wife were just like breaking, you know what, and I was like, yeah, but he scored 2 of those goals against Uzbekistan. Those shouldn't even count because Uzbekistan might have been the worst team in the. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like a joke. Uzbekistan was basically like how we looked last night. You know,
the poor Uzbeks.
Yeah, the Uzbeks. Anyway, RJ, I know that there's a lot, including
catching strays.
Yeah, including some breaking big NBA contract news. So why don't you give us that and all the other stuff with the stuff you missed?
Now,
walk-up three-pointer. He got it. See ya. Put it in the box.
The you missed.
Well, Dan alluded to this. Donovan Mitchell. He's already rich. Becomes an even richer man.
Ooh.
New extension with the Cavs, 4 years, $273 million. Includes a player option for 2030-31 and a full trade kicker.
$273 million.
If you're doing some math on the fly and you're wondering exactly what that works out to over the course of 4 years, that would be just north of $68 million.
And he got swept in the conference finals.
My math says $8 million a year.
You want the breakdown there, Bob? The annual salary?
Sure. Escalator?
60.9.
Oh, wow. So
it keeps getting bigger.
So we're going to go up to 70.
65.8.
Okay.
70.6.
And now we're going to go to?
75.5.
Yeah.
And that's courtesy of our good friend Robert W. Marks.
That's nice.
Known as Bobby to most people.
That's a nice payday. Elsewhere around the association, Rui Hachimura, LA leaves the Lakers, goes to the Clippers. Agrees to a 2-year, $28 million deal. Quentin Post leaving the Warriors, signing a $30 million offer sheet with the Grizzlies. Some non-contracts. Nikola Jokic going to wait to talk to the Nuggets on an extension until next summer. And Kawhi Leonard has hired a new agent for a contract extension talk with the Raptors. Kings, by the way, waived DeMar DeRozan. Talk plenty of baseball. Yesterday, Yankees beat the Rays. Needed that one. Cam Schlittler, really, really good. Just put the Yankees on his back. 8 innings for the second time this season. Jose Caballero homered twice. Yankees get a victory, the first of a 4-game set against the Rays when they badly needed. Ben Rice also homered. Yankees only had 3 hits, all home runs, so made it count, I guess. But they scored 5 runs. Yankee hitters did strike out 17 times against the Rays, so not all great Yankee land just yet. And Cam Schlittler took that very personally. Said had some foul language.
So some expletives.
Yeah, for those that doubted him. I'm not sure too many people did, but clearly someone somewhere did. And he heard it. Mets, boy, that was a rambunctious last couple of innings for the Mets. They beat the Braves 7-6 and 10. Juan Soto hits a go-ahead 3-run homer, 2 outs in the 9th. So at that point, Mets have a 5-3 lead. Then here comes Devin Williams. He blows the lead, doesn't even get an out. And then Brooks Raley has to come in and get the game to extras, which he does. Luke Weaver gives up a double to Michael Harris in the 10th. But he gets a save because who was it? Torrens, I believe, right?
Yep.
Doubled in 2 runs with a couple outs in the 10th. And the Mets end up splitting the 4-game set against the Braves. Freddie Peralta gave up 3 runs, only 1 earned in 4 2/3.
He wasn't even 5-inning Freddie. He was 4 2/3 Freddie.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what are you getting back for him?
Not a lot.
My gosh.
Not a lot.
But go figure. They split in Atlanta when the games mean absolutely nothing. And both wins were, skin of their teeth, 1-run escape acts, right?
Russell Douglas signing the corner with the Commanders. Terry Arnold, he has cleared waivers, becomes a free agent as he deals with all of his off-the-field troubles. And Alex Ovechkin says this may not even be his final year with the Capitals. Maybe he's got 2 more. That's it.
Just go for 50.
Why not, right? If you can still play, do it. Because once you step away, chances are you're not going to be able to come back if you wait too long, especially if you're at that age.
Ovechkin Serena just tried it. How'd it go?
It didn't work out too well. Didn't work out too well. Good job, RJ. 800-919-3776. Ray's going to give us the 3 stars, and boy, he's got a lot to choose from today. That's for darn sure. It is GNR and for DNR on ESPN New York. 9:30 in the morning. Let's get a check of the roads and say good morning to Debbie Duhame.
GNR, good morning, company. Delays on the PATH trains, Hoboken to World Trade and Hoboken to 33rd. It's all due to some ongoing signal issues. Also seeing some delays on the Uptown N and R trains with switching problems. Watch for some stop-and-go traffic this morning on 287 South into Route 80 with an accident being cleared. Garden State Parkway North up exit 168. It's a collision there as well. Traffic sponsored by the Empire State Building. America's #1 attraction is right in your backyard. Find out why TripAdvisor travelers named the reimagined Empire State Building observation deck as the #1 attraction in the U.S. Get your tickets at empirestatebuilding.com/radio. Open daily, reservations required. I'm Debbie Duhame, 880 ESPN New York.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Hey, Yankees fans, come out to Yankee Stadium on Monday, July 20th, when the Yankees host the Pittsburgh Pirates, and be ready to receive a traditional Yankees giveaway. It's Yankees T-shirt night, presented by Sato. The first 15,000 guests will receive a Yankees T-shirt. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com/tickets. Again, don't miss the Yankees and Pirates for Yankees T-shirt night presented by Sato on Monday, July 20th. Visit Yankees.com/tickets today.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See them in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code FUTURE to borrow up to $10,000.
This is Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York.
I'm one of the dopes that's sitting here 10 days ago saying, it's the American League. This league stinks. And it does. It does stink. And they very well may be in a position to win it anyway. It doesn't make me feel good about going forward.
But if you're losing, what does that say about you? If the American League stinks and you're getting your ass kicked in it, what does that say about you right now?
Bart Scott, Chris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
GNR. In for DNR here on ESPN New York. Bart and Carlin coming up next. They got, I'll tell you, I don't know what it is about today. They got one hell of a powwow in John's office right now as they're doing their show prep meeting for Bart and Carlin coming up. There's like 900 people in that office. I didn't know you could fit that many people in there.
They were just telling me I should dye my hair.
Would you do that, though?
No. They said I could. I mean, but I said, wouldn't it be weird if all of a sudden, because
out of nowhere.
I'm so gray out of nowhere, I just come in and my hair's not gray anymore?
You look like Al Bundy. Like that one episode when he shows up like jet black and it was like leaking down like the back of his shirt.
The drip, yeah.
So great. Yeah, at this point of the game, like it's too
That's
obvious.
our generation. Great show. Married with Children.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Underrated.
And everyone loved Kelly Bundy.
Yeah, she's struggling now though, right? She got personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's got like MS. Like she's having a hard time. Yeah, so that's awful, man. It really is. Anyway, that didn't mean to bring a damper on that. Thank you, Raymond. I appreciate the tidbit. Thank you. Ray's a good guy.
Look at us dancing on the screen.
See, like
terrible.
Yeah, but I don't think at this point in time you could dye your hair because like you have a very distinguished look. It defines you.
I feel like if you're going to do it, you have to catch it early. When it's just becoming a little gray. This way you could, like John said, they wouldn't actually talk about it to me, but they would, like behind my back, they'd all be like, look at his hair.
Wait a second. So they say like you pull somebody aside?
No, they wouldn't talk about it. They would with me. They wouldn't say it to me. They would just talk. They would say behind my back.
It would be like a demeaning thing, or it's like you.
But I mean, you have to know if you go from like. By the way, I'm like totally gray. You have to know that if you go from where I'm at and then you show up one day and your hair is black, you have to know that everyone's talking about you, right?
It's right. It's like he's got the way he made it sound. It's like he has a disease. Somebody's got to pull you aside. Like,
sorry, this happened to you.
Yeah. It's like I'm sorry that your hair is graying, that you're aging like every human being. Is there anything we can do for you? Here's a number you can call if you need a support.
Well, not
group.
you. You're not aging.
Well, that's
no
weird, isn't it? You know something?
Well, Dan's not married. I mean, Dan has no kids. I should say not married.
Well,
he has no kids. It's just that this is
you
what
don't think
grays
this life is stressful?
Rick also.
But I have that plus that. Yeah.
Rick also has no gray hair. But that's like in his genes.
I question the authenticity of it.
Wow.
Let's throw it out there.
Last week, true story. So last week we went over to my parents. It was my mother's birthday. So we're sitting there, we're having dinner, whatever. My father, he asked me a question. He goes, it's like, can I ask you something? He's like, no offense. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, God, where the hell is this going? He's like, do you dye your hair? And I said, no. I said, don't. I said, you could look. I was like, there's a few in there. You're getting older or whatever. But my father didn't go gray until like very late either. So I guess I got that part from him.
That's a great thing. Rick literally has 0. You can't find one.
What, hairs or just gray hairs?
Gray hairs.
Oh.
I mean, he faces a lot of follicle allegations on the show. But his
What
does that
color.
mean?
Not just color.
people think he's got hair implants, and I don't think he's done any of that. But the bloodlines, his mother and his grandmother, neither of them either don't have gray hair or didn't have until like much later in life.
I know I blurted it out, but that accusation from my end. But honestly, I had never thought about it. I'm just thinking Rick's age and no grays. It's like that's curious. I never looked at his hair and be like, "Oh, he dyes his hair," though. I never that just.
No, I never thought of that for a second. Actually, for Rick.
Are you being sarcastic?
No,
I'm
I'm being serious.
Yeah, me
I'm being
neither.
serious.
But the fact that when you're in your 40s and you have none now, that makes me question it a little bit. Like that's just unusual.
Ray, we got some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
How big?
It really just affects really me and you. The NHL schedule unveiling.
Big news, Jazz hands.
Will be 9 days from now, the 16th of July at 1 p.m. Eastern.
I've got to get a Rangers grid out.
Next Thursday, baby.
I get our Rangers grid out.
Next Thursday. Go. You know, they're actually adding 2 more games to the NHL schedule this year. There's going to be 84. No joke.
Why?
I don't know if they gave a reason.
Even it out or something?
Revenue? A couple of more games of revenue? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But yeah, 2 more games.
The regular season for the NBA and NHL is already too long for me.
Well, the problem
so
this past
keep
year,
adding more games is actually.
The schedule for the NHL got very truncated this past year from October to February because of the Olympic break. So the sport shut down for a month.
That's not the norm, though. So
no, it's not the norm.
That's like the outlier.
But we were playing so many games. But now they're adding 2 more. And you know what? If you love hockey like we do, more the better. You want to say hi to Mike and Armonk? Why
Absolutely.
not, right? Why wouldn't you want to?
No, I want to hear from Mike.
Mike and Armonk, how the heck are you, pal? Thanks for calling.
Good. How are you guys doing? You guys are doing a great job.
Thank
Really
you,
love the
Michael.
show.
Mike.
So I want to talk about the World Cup. I mean, we really can't be surprised. We can be disappointed, but when you look at it, you talk about Pulisic. He's like a top 15 to 20 player in Serie A in the league he plays in. Every other team, every other nation that's left has a player, if not multiple players, who would be the best player in American soccer history. So we can't get too down on it. We just have to kind of be realistic and say, yeah, we need better youth development here, or we need to ship more players out overseas when they're like 7 years old to learn how to play. But we're never going to be able to compete. There's literally multiple players on multiple teams that would be like the Michael Jordan of soccer when it comes to U.S. sports. So, I mean, that's just a realistic point.
Well, Mike, also
it kind of stinks.
Well, Michael, the other thing too is, I mean, if you look at some of these national teams, like that are still playing, like take France for example. Like how many players deep on the French roster do you go that are better than our best player? You know what I mean? Like
you go all the way to their bench. Every single player on their team would be the captain on our team.
Well, that's what I mean. And I brought up Portugal as an example. Like Portugal has guys who like could not even get on the field that are probably better than anybody that we have.
Romelu
for
Lukaku
Portugal
came off the bench.
But he's like 35 though.
Night.
That's
because he's been
fat,
injured and
he's
has
fat and he's old. And
Looks
he'd
like
be the
Leonard
best
Fournette.
player in U.S. history.
Yeah, in U.S. history. You're right. You're right.
He has more skill with the ball at his foot than any player that's ever touched a soccer ball in U.S. history. So it's like, what can you do? So we could be, down that we lost, but it was going to happen anyway. We'd like to see it go a little deeper. Let's just hope that, get him next time, I guess.
We just got to hope at some point we can produce
Thanks for the call,
one
Mike.
of these players or some of these players that are at that level.
Lather, rinse, repeat. Unfortunately,
You don't think there's being an outlier at some point?
Well, remember John, whose name John dropped in the group chat last night? Freddie Adu. Remember Freddie Adu was this phenom. He was 14 years old and, playing for the national team, and this guy was going to become the next, like the American version of Pele. They were putting him in he did a commercial with Pele, as a matter of fact. I think for like Slice, like the knockoff Sprite beverage. And John's like, where's Freddie Adu now? Exactly. Where's Freddie Adu? That should be a documentary. Where is Freddie Adu?
So the answer is no. You don't think that player will ever exist?
We were having that discussion in the office a couple of minutes ago. The problem in the United States is there are more sports than soccer that are publicized, that are more popular than soccer is. And I think the kids gravitate towards that more than anything else before they're going to find their way inside. It's almost like you stumble on soccer by, I hate to say by accident, but that's what it's kind of got to take a little bit, no?
I don't know. It's played at such a heavy volume at the youth level.
Or you're going to get...
But to me, it's, and you've brought this up, it's a cultural thing, whereas like when you're in Portugal or Brazil or Argentina, like kids are growing up, they're just playing from like 3 years old. When they go to the basement or the backyard or the school,
right?
They're all just messing around and playing soccer.
100%.
Like that's just what they do.
You get a ball,
we
you
don't
go out in the
do
street.
that here in this country.
Even if you're a dirt poor country, like, you know, literally, like ball on a dirt road, they're playing soccer. That's what they're doing. You know what I mean? And then if somebody's good enough and, you know, could ultimately advance and play at you know, high levels, great. But here
I think it's more that than the developmental programs, in my opinion.
Well, they've got a lot. I mean, that's the other thing. Like 1994 versus where we are now, like from the U.S. developmental programs, the MLS camps, they call them, they have those. We're producing players, like a lot more than we did 30 years ago. But it's still not at that level that you want to be at. Like we're used to being the first, the best at everything. You know what I mean, as a country. And to not be able to, if you want to say, buy our way, flex our muscles to that level, it's humbling to a certain degree. And we haven't been able to find the answer. When we come back, we'll close it out with you guys on the phones and Raymond, who's been working hard in between passive-aggressive attacks at yours truly on the 3 stars. He'll give you that before we say goodbye on ESPN New York.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with a substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. So if you're looking to get in on the biggest tournament in the world, now is your time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right, if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with a substitute, so you're still in on it until the final whistle. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
Miller time. People think it just
left near the edge.
Nothing left to do now but suit him up for the dog park.
Protect your top draft pick from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
In my world, you're always sorting through information, trying to find what matters most fast. Well, if you're hiring, you can now review all these resumes and applications faster thanks to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter has a new feature that instantly shows you the most interested, qualified candidates first. ZipRecruiter's matching technology finds qualified candidates quickly. And with ZipRecruiter's new feature, qualified candidates show up at the top of your list. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off. And you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
I'm going solo here. Dan Grassa, MIA coming out of the break. That's all right. We can finish up without him here.
Let me tell you something.
Ray, let's switch all those 3 stars to anti-Dan, okay?
The John's office is like the place to be. Like John's office is like they should have like a bartender in there. They should like sell food. They should, maybe some coffee in the morning. It is the happening place to be.
To be honest with you, I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was his, and I'm using air quotes, office.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a mini studio thing. It doesn't actually look like an office.
No,
it looks like a lounge almost.
Exactly.
It's like a secondary kitchen lounge, but with also like a bunch of computers and studio setup. Yeah. I didn't actually realize that was his office for a while.
You know what? And look, by the time one other thing too about the game last night, and we said a lot of it this morning. It was awful. The game was terrible. You know what else felt kind of eerie? At the end of the game, when they stayed the camera on the field and you see the players all kind of, and then Pochettino got the team together in the huddle and everything. Mm-hmm. You notice there's no Country Roads playing. There's no John Denver playing. They weren't playing, I don't think, any music in the stadium. And it felt eerie. You know what I mean? There's no celebration.
So consider me a buzzkill, but I actually think it actually makes more sense for them to play Country Roads. And go to West Virginia. Now you can go. Now you can go. See ya. You're gone. Go to West Virginia.
That would have been. I'll tell you, if you are the state of West Virginia, for to up your tourism in the summertime, you should have paid for advertising right after the end of the World Cup game last night. Make sure you sneak it right in.
You know who's going to West Virginia? This guy,
the old Greenbrier.
Greenbrier.
Who's going to West Virginia? Plug. I am. 2 weeks in West Virginia, baby.
It's about the only thing worth visiting in West Virginia is the Greenbrier.
Is it? For 2 weeks?
Can you think of anything?
2 weeks?
Careful.
2 weeks?
Careful. Our West Virginia audience.
Hey, hon, I got to go to West Virginia for 2 weeks in the middle of the summer.
You going to go hang out in one of the mines or something? What are you doing?
Well, how good was
We got the mountains in West Virginia.
Yeah, how good was that basketball team? Kevin Pittsnagle back in the day?
No, that's the thing, RJ. This isn't even near there.
Morgantown?
Hours
hey,
from
we're
where
good
we're
for
going.
We have a close associate of a West Virginia Hall of Famer, the university's Hall of Fame, of course.
That's true.
That's Anthony Beck.
That's right.
That's true.
Dear friend.
He'd probably tell you there's not much to do there.
Morgantown to White Sulphur Springs, where the Greenbrier is.
Yeah.
3 hours and 19-minute drive.
That's a fun time.
It is far.
What do you fly into?
It's by Roanoke, Virginia, an hour and a half nearest airport, I heard.
So you fly into Roanoke? They don't have an airport.
I mean, I think I'm going to drive. I got to go for 2 weeks. Going to have to
bring
a lot of stuff.
So how long is the drive from Jersey to West Virginia?
It's like 7 or 8.
Oof. That's not terrible.
We either got to rent the car or, I need a car some way, shape, or form. I can't be that for 2 weeks and just be stuck without a car.
Would they give you the green light there on the rent-a-car?
I think I'd rather just drive. This way I could bring a whole bunch of stuff, golf clubs.
Well, you couldn't put that in a rent-a-car?
Well, then you got to fly.
They have a trunk.
You got to fly with all the stuff.
Oh, you got to fly with
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Not that you can't fly with golf clubs. It's I would need a lot of it's like 2 weeks worth of clothes.
What's the Giants' preseason schedule this year, the 3 games? Jets, obviously one of them.
Dolphins. They're joint practicing with the Dolphins.
In Miami?
In Miami.
Oh, Jesus. Joint practice with Miami in July and August or whatever?
August. I might have to go to August. In August, a day or two, a couple days in Miami on top of it when it's 130 degrees. 2 weeks in West Virginia. This is not the ideal summer.
Oh, my God. Let me tell you something. Jordan's going to come back at the end of August looking like a lobster between Miami and West Virginia.
You're not wrong.
Oh, my gosh. And you already have a nice base tan.
Maybe the mountains of West Virginia, I don't know. I've never been up there. It's kind of coolish, I'm thinking maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth a hike one day and an off day.
I thought that was the reason that they go out to the Greenbrier. It's just a little cooler. No? So many teams use that place.
I think they just use it because the facility is set up where it's perfect for them to use.
Yeah, they got a big
the
old
hotel. It's big. It's sprawling. Multiple golf courses. Apparently, there's some kind of bunker. It was like one of
Civil War thing.
Yeah, like one of the presidents. It was a direct train from
the
White House to the Greenbrier, and there's an underground bunker or something.
Maybe they could give you a tour.
I want to check out. Yeah, no, I will. That I'm definitely going to check out.
All right, so we got Yanks in Tampa again tonight. Will Warren on the bump for the Bombers as they try to win 2 in a row. Mets, they're back home for a 3-game set against fellow last-place Kansas City Royals with the opener going for the Mets tonight, whoever that is, against the former Mets Seth Lugo. Our coverage begins at 6:30 right here on ESPN 880. 2 World Cup games today, the final of the round of 16. We have Argentina, Egypt at noon, Switzerland, Colombia at 4. Good job by you today. That was good.
We made it through?
I
didn't slack off too much?
No, get the coffee. Do Wawa tomorrow.
Yeah. Once I got the coffee, I think it literally rejuvenated.
There was a pre-coffee Jordan and a post-coffee Jordan.
Yeah.
I think there was a difference. But get the Wawa tomorrow. But you did good. RJ, great job by you as always. And Raymond, we now turn it over to you for today's 3 stars.
Today's 3 stars. Number 3.
And C, bringing the energy is a big part of what you need to bring to this fine program where you're doing 6 to 10, and Dan can give you examples.
Well, somebody had to bring the energy after last night because obviously the team did.
Yeah, more on the soccer in a bit. Dan is upset because I chastised him a little bit. I just said, so RJ's just not going to do the read this hour, I guess.
Such a bleep move.
You want to say things.
There's so many things I want to call you right now, but I guess I used that up in the first hour.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that.
Number 2.
Because, yeah, listen, not a great effort for Team USA against Belgium.
What did the U.S. play? Their D- game?
I don't even know if you want to even give him the D.
I see what you did there. It's a good thing Rick's not here. But listen, you got ahead of yourself.
After the Portugal-Spain game went final, I allowed this brain of mine to entertain the thought of, you know what? Looks like the U.S. got to take care of business against Spain coming up on Friday.
Oh, well, they took care of business, all right.
We took a giant you-know-what on that field.
I mean, it's just escalating with you. You're talking about, like, Jordan bringing things up a level, and then there's... we got to address it.
When he climbed the mountain, he...
I mean, for God's sake. And you know what? But
I was wondering if you were going to do that.
So I'm going to take you back. I'm gonna take you on the Wayback Machine.
For context.
Because there was a time once. This is not the first time Dan has violated on this fine program.
I got some titillating news for you, my friend. Right?
The Dave noise still that's the funniest part of the whole thing.
100%.
Inadvertently, though.
Number 1.
And listen, again, not the proper sleep, the proper fuel, whether it's coffee or whatever you put into your body, it can have bad effects on you if you're not careful, Jordan.
2009 beat number 1 Spain. So, but we're talking 8 years ago.
And that was 2009. That's 17 years ago. Yeah.
17.
Right.
Listen, if it was just that, you'd be okay. But
some of these guys, in some way, shape, or form, can help out the bullpen.
Farm form.
Yeah, farm form, same thing.
It happens.
How do you think Tim Ream against Lamine Yamal? I keep botching his name. Don't clip that.
I did clip that, and I'm
when
sorry.
you tell him not to do
that
something,
was the stupidest thing. Yeah, that's like when you're like, I didn't commit a foul. Like, of course you committed a foul.
At the end of the day, all things considered, only one of us dropped the big-time hammer today, and that was you.
I know you went back and watched like the first 20 minutes or whatever. I don't think I could even go back and watch some of that again.
Well, I was busy hosting national radio, so
I
was.
But I'm just saying, like,
there's just a level of disgust in your voice in that one. And I
was
appreciate
hosting
it.
national radio.
I'm sorry.
You guys are taking that out of context.
I'm sorry we beat you down today, Dan. I'm really sorry.
I got the scars. I got everything.
That's taken out of context.
I was hosting national radio. Oh, and by the way, I was driving as well.
But you know what?
You ever hear of it?
You can hold your head higher than Team USA. I can tell you that much.
Very much so. Raymond, we love you. RJ, we'll see you tomorrow. And you, how about a little Rule 76?
Rule 76, no excuses, play like a champion. It's Ronan Grassa and
Belgian waffles
on ESPN Radio.
I got some titillating news for you, my friend. Right?
D'Agostino, Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, and I know how a serious accident